Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Golden VCR. 7 months, by the way, from Green Day. Thank you. 7 months with the VCR man and a wonderful community. It is indeed a wonderful community. Thanks to all of you. All right. Good morning, folks. Ooh, Toast Grandchild. I'll let you pick then, since you'll only be here for an hour. Our first tape can either be Cute and Cuddly Critters, Leapin' Lizards, or Grand Canyon, A Journey into Discovery, narrated by television's Telly Savalas, a.k.a. Kojak. Leapin' Lizards? All right. Sometimes we have a special form of democracy where it's just, I guess it's not nepotism. I'm just picking someone. It's crowd work. All right, Leapin' Lizards, Cute and Cuddly Critters. Let's see what we got here. Ooh, look at those buns on broadcast 78. Remembering those buns today. This is broadcast 80 of Golden VCR. Welcome. Cute and Cuddly Critters, Leapin' Lizards, written by Chris Madison, a professional zoologist who has special interest in amphibians and reptiles. He has written many books, which have sold throughout the world. Chris also lectures widely on the subject and has given many talks in the United Kingdom, Holland, Sweden, and the United States. Chris is a fellow of the Royal Photographic Society and travels widely to study and photograph reptiles in the world. Most reptiles are in the world. David Woodland harbors a keen and growing interest in reptiles and is a successful freelance TV presenter and personality. David has the special ability to educate and inform his audiences in an enjoyable and easy-to-understand manner. An introduction to Leapin' Lizards is primarily aimed at offering the novice lizard keeper the necessary knowledge to maintain lizards successfully in the comfort of their own home. The video covers the basic procedure for housing, heating, feeding, and healthcare. There's also some focuses on the species of lizards likely to be present in a beginner: the Apollos lizard, leopard, dragon, chameleon, and green iguana. Thank you, Value Village, for always covering up the back of the tape. Leapin' Lizards. Who's ready? I'm ready. I'm not ready, actually, because I haven't opened the VCR video feed. Here we go. We get a different scimitar. Actually, this is a different scimitar company entirely, I think. Because the other tapes from Scimitar have not had a C. Anyway, great intro. Wait, $1.99 is already pretty steep for tapes.
To a lot of people, man's best friend, the dog, is likely to be the perfect pet. Often noisy and sometimes obedient, but always loyal, our four-legged friends often become the focus in many people's lives.
Haley and I went to a thrift store yesterday, and I did buy tapes.
Prefer the quieter company of a
but
cat.
I only bought 8.
While the more affluent may aspire to the 17-handed variety of animal.
And I was very selective because they were 50 cents,
wishing to pursue an
and I
interest
already have
in the not so
700.
normal, the animal lover who doesn't want a soft coat to stroke or an early morning gallop. Nowadays, many people are discovering the fascinating world of keeping lizards in captivity. It can be one of the most rewarding hobbies, but it can also be one of the most frustrating. The secret to success lies in choosing the correct type of lizard in the first place and understanding its requirements. In this video, we're going to show you how to achieve these objectives and how to avoid some of the more common mistakes.
You have 20 tapes, Deb, or 20 lizards?
Because lizards aren't like other pets, we need to understand just what makes them tick before we can give them the conditions they need. So before we go any further, there are a few points we need to look at. The most important of these concern the way in which lizards regulate their body temperature, their social behaviour, and also the way in which they absorb calcium into their bodies.
Lizards are reptiles, and like other reptiles, they rely on outside sources of heat to keep their bodies at a suitable temperature. Each species differs slightly in its ideal temperature, but generally speaking, lizards function best at temperatures between about 25 and 40 degrees Celsius. In the wild, lizards can increase their body temperatures by basking in the sun or by pressing themselves against a warm object, such as a rock. When the temperature drops, they hide away and become inactive.
A soccer
In captivity,
lizard.
then, it's important to give lizards two things: an opportunity
Also,
to
thank you
warm
to Aaron the
themselves
Baron
to
for
their
a
preferred
7-month
temperature,
resub.
and a temperature cycle so that they can have a period of rest as well as a period of activity. Later in this video, we'll show you the correct methods of giving them these conditions.
My 8th grade science teacher had a pet iguana that we kept in the
Many male
science lab.
lizards and some females are territorial by
His name
nature.
was Iggy.
This means that they won't tolerate other lizards inside their living space. If you want to keep a group of lizards together,
I don't know if you can own an iguana and not name it
keeping more than
Iggy.
one male in the cage. You might also run into trouble if you try to keep too many lizards together, even if they're females. When lizards become overcrowded, some of them, usually the smaller ones, will hide away for much of the time and will not have an opportunity to feed. Their colours will fade, and if you don't separate them from their more dominant cage mates, they'll eventually die. You can avoid some of these problems by keeping small
Beautiful.
groups, say one male and 1 to 3
stand
females
corrected.
together, and by making sure that there are plenty of hiding places so that each lizard can have somewhere to lurk when it needs some peace. When you feed the lizards, make sure that they all come out to eat and that the larger ones don't bully the smaller ones. If bullying does take place, the only answer is to set up another cage and divide them into smaller groups, or even to house them individually for a while.
Man, I don't know the name of it, but
Some
one of
lizards
Haley's
can't
favorite
make their
YouTube
own
channels
vitamin
now
D
is
from
this
their
dude
food.
that
They need sunlight or a
has like
suitable
frogs
substitute.
and lizards, and he
Without
just
vitamin D, they can't absorb
records
calcium into their
feeding them
bodies.
crickets,
And so,
and
even
puts
if there
funny
is
sound
plenty
effects
of
over it. It's
calcium in
very
their
well done.
diet, their bones won't form properly, and any number of other problems may arise. You can easily provide extra calcium by using one of the dietary supplements that have been designed for reptiles. But providing the right amount of vitamin D can be more difficult. One method is to use special lights that give out ultraviolet light. This is the part of the spectrum that the lizards need to make vitamin D, and these lights should be available from your reptile supplier. The other method is to sprinkle a vitamin supplement over their food. Unfortunately, because each species seems to need a slightly different amount of vitamin D, some trial and error may be necessary. What suits one lizard won't necessarily suit them all. We'll be discussing lighting and vitamin supplements in more detail later.
The last week, it's been pretty good.
There are nearly 4,000 species of lizard found throughout the world.
I really liked
Only
our
a few
stream
of
on
these
Wednesday where
are
we got to
suitable
go
for
through a
keeping
lot
in
of
captivity.
tapes.
Some are too large or too small. Many are very
Our Saturday
rare
stream had
and aren't
Vacation
available
Bible
for the
School
pet trade.
and
Others eat food that's hard to come
football
by.
kidney
Well, they may be
movie.
difficult to keep for reasons that aren't yet clear to us.
Beginners are advised to
I'm
choose
hoping this
from
stream
a
will
fairly
be less-
limited range of species, all
less
of
of
which
a
fare
depressing
well under
slog.
quite basic conditions. Species that you should consider include the leopard gecko, which originates from the deserts of Central Asia, anolis lizards, most of which hail from Florida and the Caribbean, the bearded dragon from the drier regions of Australia, and blue-tongued skinks, also found in Australia as well as New Guinea. Other species that can be recommended, but which are slightly more demanding, include the green iguana from the forests of South and Central America, plumed basilisks, which are also from the same region, water dragons from the forests of Southeast Asia, and the veiled chameleon from parts of the Middle East. Wherever possible, try to insist on captive bred lizards. There shouldn't be a problem with leopard geckos, bearded dragons, basilisks, water dragons, blue-tongued skinks and veiled chameleons. Green iguanas are captive farmed in parts of Central America, and this is a better alternative to wild-caught ones. Whenever possible, buy young lizards because they'll adapt better to captivity than adults. Beginners should avoid buying species that get too large.
I wouldn't want a
These include
basilisk.
monitor lizards and tegus, which can
So I
reach
would
sizes
just
of
be
over
afraid
1
that it would
metre.
turn me to stone.
Other species that are sometimes offered for sale, but which require specialised knowledge, include chameleons, other than the veiled chameleon,
Because I think basilisks
lizards,
in Final Fantasy turn you to
large
stone.
wild-caught water dragons, iguanas and similar species.
I guess Dark Souls
Never
basilisks
buy a
will
lizard without knowing
curse you.
what its requirements are, as there are many on the market.
I
that
don't
are
know
almost
which is worse.
impossible to keep alive
basically
for
the
any length
same.
of time. Once you've decided which species you want to keep, you'll have the task of finding someone who has some for sale. Local pet shops and
Yeah,
some of the better
they're
garden
a
centres are the
mythological
obvious
creature
choice for
from
most people.
what I know.
Okay. That's a nice male leopard gecko.
And provided they can offer good advice and are also able to supply you with the equipment and food
Although
that your
I don't know
lizard
if
will
the-
need, you may not need to look any further.
Where does this stone thing come from?
Specialist reptile dealers are also likely to have a wide range of species on offer. They'll also have a variety of food, reference books and accessories.
Okay, it comes from Greek.
Once you've decided
And
on
then
the
was
type of
popular
lizard
in
you want
medieval
to buy,
European
you'll
folklore.
need to consider the different cage designs in which lizards can be kept. Some are more suitable for certain species than others. If you intend to put your lizards on display, in the living room for instance,
Look
you
at
want
that
to
rack
invest
of
in an
AV
attractive
equipment.
cage with a glass front. You can either adapt this from an aquarium using one of the vivarium lid conversions that are on the market, or you can use a wooden cage with a sliding glass front. These cages are available from reptile supply shops, or if you're more adventurous, you could make one of your own. Either way, make sure that your cage is large enough, and in particular, make sure there's room
Thank you,
to put
Jace.
lights in the top. Remember that some lizards require
1,000 bits
humid
from Jace.
environment, and
Wait a minute,
plastic
Green Day
faced
wanted more
chipboard
palate cleanser
doesn't last
songs?
long under these conditions.
Time for me to
unless
activate the
edges
Peter
are
Gabriel
properly
service,
sealed.
BGS.
Leopard geckos, bearded
sledgehammer
dragons
in
and
hand, of
similar
course.
species, however, which require a dry environment, will happily live in this type of cage. Other types of cages, less suitable for display but useful for some lizards,
Thank you very much,
include
Jace.
plastic food
I'm all
storage
for palate
boxes,
cleanser songs.
which are available in a range of sizes.
I
Some have clear sides,
It-
so the
it's
lizards can
possible
be
that
seen
I,
easily, whereas
in
others
theory,
are more
would start
opaque,
getting
giving them a
tired of
degree
hearing
privacy.
the same
Small
songs
plastic
all the
lunch
time.
boxes are especially useful for raising
But
small
I'm in
baby
charge of
lizards,
picking what
such
songs
as
are on there,
Russian
so
leopard
generally I
geckos.
like them all. And number two, critically,
One of the
every
most
time someone
important things
requests
to
one,
consider when keeping
they're
lizards is the size
financially
of the cage.
supporting
Factors
Golden
to bear in
VCR.
mind are the size of the lizard, how many you intend keeping
So
together,
I ain't gonna
and
get
how
tired of
active
that.
they are. As a guide, a pair of bearded dragons need a cage with 1 to 2 square meters of floor space. Veiled chameleons need a cage at least a meter high so that they can climb. Some small lizards, of course, need much less space.
A pair of leopard geckos, for instance, will live happily in a cage measuring about 60 by 30 by 30 centimetres, and 3 or 4 anolis need a tall cage measuring about 60 centimetres in each direction. At the other extreme, 1 or 2 baby iguanas would need a cage measuring not less than 1 metre by 50 centimetres deep and at least 50 centimetres high, and as they grow,
is he
they'll
saying
need to be given even more
Anubis, like
space.
the
Large
genus
adults will be
name or
cramped
whatever?
in a cage measuring anything less than 2 metres in every direction.
I thought they were called
Don't buy
anoles.
lizards of this type unless you know that you'll be able to accommodate them when they grow up. Many people give their large lizards the run of a conservatory.
Like it's Jurassic Park on VHS.
Trying to house train them.
Uh,
Regardless of which type of cage you choose, the environment
What a great
inside
shot.
it must be suitable for the lizard species you want to keep. The environment includes heating, lighting, and humidity, and you'll need to take all of this into account when buying and setting up cages and equipment. Let's look at these points one at a time.
I'll be
As we
honest,
saw
based
at
on
the
the
start of this video, lizards aren't able to generate body heat internally.
based on the case, I thought
so
this
they
was
have
going to be
rely
another
on outside
generic, like,
sources.
fun footage of
Most
cute
lizards
animals
prefer
jumping
a
around.
body temperature of 30 to 40 degrees
Instead, it's how to
Celsius.
take care of reptiles.
So you must provide some means of heating their cage. Cage heating comes in 2 basic forms. Firstly, you can apply heat to the floor of the cage using a heat pad. These items give out a gentle heat over a wide area. The power of the pad depends on its size. The other method is to use a heater that'll throw the heat down into the cage. Heaters of this sort include ceramic bulbs and trough heaters, ordinary domestic light bulbs, and spotlights. The method you choose will depend, to a certain extent, on the species of lizard you want to keep.
Yeah, they're not even
Leopard
leaping.
geckos, for instance, are naturally active at night.
Are they cute?
So they're used
Have
to
they
taking
been
their
cute
heat
and
from the
cuddly?
ground. They'll be happy with
Is a
just
lizard?
heat pad
I can
placed
absolutely
under
believe
or
that a
in their
lizard is
cage.
cute. But can they
Iguanas
really
and bearded
be
dragons, on the other
cuddly?
hand, are active by day.
Green Day, 1,000 bits, thank you. Well,
Heater
you know what
such as
this
a
calls for.
spotlight that's mounted above them,
Legally
which
distinct
radiates
Jurassic
heat
Park theme,
downwards.
please.
If you place a flat rock or a thick log under the
That is
spotlight, this will become
A beautiful
basking
connection.
area.
Thank you for
Allow
making
the
it.
lizards to get as close to the heat as they want to. The temperature directly under the spotlight should be about 40 degrees Celsius. Iguanas, bearded dragons and other day-active lizards, however, should not be allowed to bask for 24 hours every day, because this is unnatural. So you should turn their spotlights off at night, perhaps by connecting them to a time switch. To prevent the temperature falling too much, their cage can also have a heat pad, and this will maintain a steady background temperature throughout the night. As a rule, all lizard cages should have a heat pad installed.
Hey, thank you
Its
for
area should be less than 1
shoveling coal
floor
into the
area,
steam train.
and you should leave it on all the time. Some makers advise using a thermostat, but others can be plugged directly into the mains. But always remember to follow the directions that come with the equipment.
Gimme greens.
In addition, lizards that
Gimme
like to
greens.
bask, iguanas, bearded dragons, day geckos, some skinks, anolis lizards, and similar species need a spotlight as well. One golden rule that you should bear in mind when you install your heating is to direct the heat to one end of the cage only. This is because nobody knows exactly what temperature lizards need every minute of the day and night. If you make the whole cage the same temperature, and that temperature happens to be the wrong one, the lizards will suffer. By placing the heaters at one end, you'll create a thermal gradient, and the lizards will be able to move about in the cage, finding the place that suits them best at any given time. Basking lizards in particular will often sit under a spotlight for a few minutes to warm themselves up, and then move to a cooler part of the cage.
Good
to
morning.
feed or
We're
rest.
learning about lizards.
Besides heating, most lizards need some form of lighting, so you can give them a natural day and night cycle. If you use spotlights to heat your lizards, this may give sufficient light, but large cages also require
From the description on the
additional
back, I
light
thought
from
this was just like a
fluorescent
brief
tubes
introductory
attached to the
segment
top.
before we got to the
Geckos, except day
footage.
geckos, are an exception because they're active mostly at night. Lighting's unnecessary. If you grow living plants in the vivarium, however,
But we haven't
you
even
almost
gotten to
certainly need
calcium
some
yet.
form of cage lighting to keep them healthy.
For many lizards, sunlight performs another important function. As we've already seen, these species aren't able to make their own vitamin D, so they can't absorb calcium from their diet. This leads to weak bones, deformities, and other ailments. One way around the problem is to sprinkle vitamin D on their food, and we'll deal with this method when we move on to feeding later on.
The other method, though, is to install special lights that give out ultraviolet light. These lights are called black lights and should be available through your reptile dealer. Black lights are fitted alongside normal fluorescent lights and should be switched on at the same time, so that when the lizard basks, it'll absorb the ultraviolet. Because lizards are wild animals, even if they have been bred in captivity, it's not a good idea to handle them more than necessary. Otherwise, they may become stressed. There are times when you will have to pick up and hold your lizard, though, such as when you clean its cage. You can sometimes persuade small lizards to climb onto your hand, and as long as there's no risk that they'll jump off and run away, this is the best method for delicate ones that might be damaged by over-enthusiastic handling. You should grasp larger lizards gently but firmly behind their head, and then lift them up at the same time, supporting their bodies with your other hand. Species with long tails, such as iguanas, sometimes thrash about if they're
Iguanas.
restrained, and it's a good idea to get someone to help, or, failing this, to tuck their tail under your arm. Remember to keep handling down to a minimum. Even if you want to tame your lizard, it'll be more comfortable if you allow it to approach you rather than have you chase it around its cage. So, to summarize, all lizards need background heating, which is best provided by a heat pad fixed under or inside one end of their cage. Many lizards also require additional heating in the form of spotlights or ceramic heaters to give them a hot spot in which they can bask.
We've got cake.
And many species also require extra ultraviolet light.
Thank you, Jess,
which is
for the
most
1,000
easily
bits.
provided by using a
To
black
celebrate
light.
your cake. I would love to celebrate your cake with you.
The amount of humidity that the various species need is related to the environment from which they come. Desert lizards obviously need a low humidity.
Do you want We've
whereas
Got Cake?
Rainforest species need substantially more. You can raise the humidity by spraying the cage once or twice each day using a
Let's see,
fine
I
mister,
gotta-
such as the ones that gardeners use.
Let me
Remember that wooden
see.
cages won't last long if you spray them frequently. It's easier to maintain humidity in the cage if there's not too much ventilation.
Sell car
But you should make sure that
insurances.
the atmosphere inside doesn't become
With
stagnant. All lizards like fresh
Why
air,
does he have a
no matter
toothbrush?
where they come from. Finally, spraying is also important for a number of lizard species that don't seem to be able to drink from a water bowl. These include chameleons and anolis lizards. Feeding is another area that sometimes gives lizard keepers problems if they don't know enough about the species they're keeping. Lizards can be herbivorous or carnivorous. Herbivorous lizards eat a range of plant material, including leaves, fruit, vegetables, and flowers.
Herbivorous.
Carnivorous lizards eat a range of other animals, including insects, worms, eggs, small rodents, and larger mammals.
Sorry, I'm not trying to make
You must
fun
provide a
of
varied
his
diet for your lizard. If you
his
only
English
feed
accent.
one type of food, say lettuce or crickets, the diet is likely to lack some essential
It's
ingredient.
just catching me off guard because
Remember
I
that some
don't
large lizards
think
regard small lizards as
that's how
part of the
anyone
menu.
says
As a general rule,
that word.
don't mix large and small lizards in the same cage. Herbivorous lizards, those that eat mostly plants, are the easiest to cater for. You can give them just about any fruit or vegetable that you can buy in a supermarket, as well as a number of things that you're unlikely to see for sale, such as weeds and wildflowers. Each meal should consist of a number of different foods, sliced and mixed together so that the lizard cannot easily pick out a few favourite items. Also, you should vary the mixture occasionally. Sprinkle each meal liberally with a good vitamin and mineral supplement. These are available from reptile suppliers, and there are many different makes and formulae. Choose one that's high in calcium and contains vitamin D3. These are the most important ingredients. You should feed herbivorous lizards every day, although if you have to miss the odd day, they'll not come to any harm. Carnivorous lizards eat a range of prey, depending mostly on their size. Small species, such as anolis, eat small crickets, waxworm larvae, spiders, and similar prey. Slightly larger ones, such as leopard geckos and many skinks, eat the same food but in larger sizes. You must provide a varied diet. Giving them crickets day after day isn't good enough. This is a good point at which to look at some of the live foods that are usually available from pet suppliers. The most common and convenient ones are crickets, of which several species, light brown, dark brown, and black, may be offered. Crickets are a good food because they're lively and quickly attract the attention of lizards. Some lizards show a preference for one kind of cricket over the others. You might have to experiment a little. Crickets are usually sold in small tubs in which they can only survive for a few days. If you want to keep them for longer than this, prepare a small pet cage by putting several pieces of crumpled newspaper in the bottom. Feed the crickets with pieces of biscuit, bran or rabbit food and spray them lightly every day so that they can drink. There are special foods that can be given to crickets before they're fed to the lizards. These increase their nutritional value, and it's worth looking out for them, although they're probably not essential. Other food to be
how long does
considered
a pet
include
cricket live
mealworms,
in
which are the
captivity?
larvae of a small beetle. Although they're widely used to feed birds, they're not so valuable for lizards because their hard shell isn't easily digested. Lizards fed only on mealworms can quickly become deficient in calcium. Some lizards are especially fond of them, however.
Well, I'm sure you
so they
gave that
can be
cricket
used
a
in
good
small
life.
numbers to add variety to the diet. Larger lizards, such as bearded dragons, will eat the so-called giant mealworms, which are also available sometimes. They're so keen on them that they'll take them from your fingers, and this is a good way of taming them, but be careful not to give them too many. Mealworms and giant mealworms can be stored in a plastic box or small pet's cage with a shallow layer of bran or peat moss on the bottom. They don't need water and last quite well. Eventually they turn into pupae and then beetles. Some lizards will also eat these stages in their life cycle. Waxworms are the caterpillars of a small moth that inhabits beehives. Because they're soft-bodied, they're easily digested by lizards, which often prefer them to all other foods. They contain a large proportion of fat, and so they're especially good for lizards that are underweight. But be careful not to let the lizards become obese. Waxworms are usually sold in a small portion of the mixture that they eat and in which they live. Simply keep this in a cool place and pick out the waxworms as required. Using large numbers can be fiddly, but they're so popular with lizards that they're probably worth the extra trouble from time to time.
Chirpy.
They have one other disadvantage: they can climb up glass. So unless the cage has a good lid, some of them may escape into your house, turning up weeks later as small silvery grey moths. Other live foods include those that you catch yourself around the house or in the garden. Spiders, crane flies and other small creatures make good lizard food, although you'll probably only be able to catch enough of them to provide the occasional treat.
I don't know if I could feel...
to avoid collecting them in places that might have been sprayed with insecticides.
I don't love lizards enough
because most of these substances
to go spider hunting for them.
Regardless of which live foods you use or where you obtain them, you should always sprinkle the lizard's food with a vitamin and mineral supplement, as with the herbivorous species. A good way of doing this is to put the required number of crickets, waxworms, or whatever into a polythene bag containing about 1 teaspoonful of the vitamin powder. Grip the top of the bag and shake well before tipping them into the cage. Any vitamin powder left over will be used again for the next feed, although you'll obviously have to top it up occasionally. Feed small carnivorous lizards every day, but larger ones will easily go for a day or two without food. The amount each lizard will eat varies, and you'll have to find this out by trial and error. If there are still insects left in the cage the following day, you're giving them too much food. But if they eat everything you give them immediately and are still active, they probably need more. Ideally, they should pounce on the food straight away and eat at least some of it. Otherwise, the insects will clean all the vitamin and mineral powder off their bodies, and it won't reach the lizards. Also, leaving many crickets in the cage can be stressful for the lizards because they dislike insects crawling all over them. And if the lizards are breeding,
Who doesn't, really?
It's especially important to make sure that there isn't a population of crickets living in the cage, because they'll attack and destroy any eggs that the lizards may lay. Water must be available for lizards at all times. Use a shallow bowl and place it in a cool part of their cage. If you're using crickets as food, place a small stone or twig in the bowl so that if they jump in, they can climb back out. Otherwise, the water will turn to a smelly kind of soup with your expensive crickets as its main ingredient.
If a lizard is healthy when you buy it and you give it the right conditions, then it's unlikely to become ill.
Sorry,
If
it's
you
just
have any problems. First, make sure that your cage
pensive
is properly
British
set up,
boy
and
stroking
that the
lizard.
temperature, humidity and lighting are
It's just
suitable
quite
for
a-
the species
quite a shot.
you keep. Then make sure that it's eating and that you're giving it the correct diet with all the necessary vitamins and minerals it might need. And remember, 9 out of every 10 problems are associated with a poor environment. Also, you should bear in mind that some small lizards are short-lived by nature, and if they've been collected in the wild, they may already be over the hill, so you shouldn't expect them to live forever. This is another good reason for buying captive bred babies. At least you'll know that most of their life is in front of them, not behind them.
Here are some of the health
Sick
problems
list,
to
bro.
look out for.
Oh.
Poor shedding. This can indicate that the lizard is sick, but is more likely to be the result of keeping it too dry. Spray one end of the cage lightly to make a small area that's permanently slightly damp, and the problem should cure itself. If a lizard has parts of its skin firmly stuck, put it into a small plastic box containing damp moss for a few hours, and the skin will usually come away. You may have to help by gently pulling away some of it, especially on the lizard's toes.
Aw, bready baby.
Blocked nostrils, sometimes accompanied by mucus in the mouth, can be a sign of respiratory disease. You may need the help of a vet, but sometimes simply raising the temperature by 5 or 10 degrees will cure this problem. Wounds. These may be the result of fighting, especially between two males.
Oh my God, it's Loafer's
The
children.
answer is to separate them permanently. Large wild-caught lizards often panic in small cages and bash their snouts. If they continue to do this, it can eventually lead to an infected wound and permanent mutilation. Give them a bigger cage and more seclusion. Better still, avoid the species that are prone to this behaviour. Wild water dragons, basilisks are examples of species where this problem often arises. Females sometimes get injuries to their necks, caused by the male during the breeding season. These usually heal of their own accord, but if the male is very persistent, it might be advisable to separate them for a while. As we said at the beginning of the video, there are thousands of different types of lizard, and even though only a few can be successfully kept, you still have an enormous selection to choose from.
Well, we hope you've enjoyed the video and what we've been able to tell you about lizards. If you follow all the advice, you can expect many highly rewarding and successful years of keeping lizards.
Thank you, Lizard Television Man. The producers would like to thank the following for their assistance in the making of this video. Oh, look how alive and quite happy he is. I am still alive and quite happy. Do not send help. Yay, well that was Cute and Cuddly Critters, Leapin' Lizards. Was there? I think that's our only Cute and Cuddly Critters. Nope, we have... Oh, what a loose association of animal-themed tapes, because there was that one about lizard care, and then we also had the Carnival of Animals featuring Radar. Anyway, that was pretty good. I learned a lot about lizards. I will probably never need to know any of that. Because I don't have any particular affinity with lizards, so to me it would just be an expensive hobby. But yay. We love to learn. Okay, let me pop another tape in the VCR to rewind while we do a few other things. Oh, we had a few songs to get to. There's also, let me see. I was looking at the clips I've collected recently just to size up what I have backlogged to get on the list.
And I'll be good again.
You got it. My grandma's feeling good.
Oh, stop it.
That's a great alert. It's it's really hard to rotoscope things like that. I gotta find some better tools. Like doing it by hand in Resolve is really a pain. Peter Gabriel took me maybe 8 hours of labor. So it's really not that feasible. Wait, did we have a Dick Groat? Wait, did someone say Dick Groat? Or did that just enter my mind? Anyway, I do have a Dick Groat.
He left his successor with a solid program. He also left behind a two-sport superstar named Dick Groat, who would go on to become one of the greatest players in the history of Duke basketball.
Yeah.
So subdue it, put it down. What he was saying was, snake coming. Snake coming. Subdue it.
Anyway, we
Put
got
it
a few
down.
things to get to here. We had Sledgehammer, first of all, from Jace Book. Hell yeah, love me some Sledgehammer. Let's get to that right now. Sledgehammer. Oh yeah, man, that flute. We had Sledgehammer, we had Legally Distinct Jurassic Park, and we had Cake. There really are a lot of good Peter Gabriel songs. The hammer.
You could have a big dipper going up and down all around the bends. You could have a
Sizzle hammer is pretty good. All right, Jess. I want to honor your request if you have any particular song, but if you're not attached to Cake, if you just want me to pick, I can pick. See what variety we can come up with here. Ooh, unpicking the pond to celebrate your cake. Congrats on cake, by the way. I think I saw the picture you posted in Discord. It looked like a delicious cake. And more importantly, it's fun to bake things. It's fun to make something and then eat it. And then be like, yes, I made this. It makes it taste better. Oh, that's right. I recorded all these Restless Heart country songs that immediately got blocked from the lot. Guess I don't need those. Thank you, Jace, for the sledgehammer. We now have from Green Day Rock. I love it so much. Oh wait, all right, we don't have that yet. I wanted to dude. We're really building up a great collection of clips. Somehow tuba kidding is fitting before legally distinct Jurassic Park theme. And thank you to Seemingly Jess for unpicking the pond.
Pack it up, unpack it, stack it up, unstack it, clog it up, unclog it, hog it up, unhog it, jam it up, unjam it, cram it up, uncram it, more it up. Somebody come on and help me over here. Pack it up, unpack it, stack it up, unstack it, clog it up, unclog it, hog it up, unhog it, jam it up, unjam it, cram it up, uncram it, more it up, unmore it, board up, unboard it, hit 'em up, move 'em out. This is what the song's about. Pick it up, unpick it, pick it up, unpick it, pick it up, unpicking the pine. Sing a little song, little swine, move along, young pig in the pine. Pig in the pine, unpicking the pine. The boys have hokey, it's the big fish with the pokey, unpicking the pine. Stop it up, unstop it, top it up, untop it, cram it up, unclam it, ham it up, unham it, block it up, unblock it, stock it up, unstock it, stuff it up, unstuff it, puff it up, unpuff it, hand 'em up, move 'em out. This is what the song's about. Cork it up, uncork it, pork it up, unpork it, pig in the pine.
In retrospect, Threads wasn't that bad. I really enjoyed its aesthetic. It was far better than Chatter.
I'm just talking about moving the bacon, baby. Thank you very much.
It makes control of the transmission difficult to achieve. Influenza, unexpected problems, and
I need to edit this together.
oxygens, cockroaches, and crazy ants. Crazy ants are ants that if you do like that in the middle of the ants, they go, "Wah!" and they fly all over the place.
If you missed
nuts.
Paralandra Microbial
So
Balancing
crazy
Program Workshop Volume 1,
What's the upside about microbes?
here's a
Now that I've
highlight of
scared
what
the
you needed
Jesus
to
out
know.
of you. I'm not flying an airplane ever again. Cheer. No, wait. You're going to get such a different relationship with your bathroom. You know, suddenly little children who look down the toilet and go, bye, are going to make sense. Each year, trillion cells in the human body. That means that there are 750 trillion to 7.5 gazapadillion microbes. Gas was actively produced by billions of microbes.
Oh, no.
To that I say, fart power.
My OBS browser sources.
Study the mass
Suddenly
of the
not
Earth,
working.
because such estimates are extremely crude given the current state of microbial knowledge.
Okay. Nope.
To continue the hysteria, in order to advance sales, they make all microbes into our enemies. Their anthem, kill them all, and make life clean again.
All right, so we've got, let's see. OBS. All right, there we go. It's working now. Sometimes the OBS browser source is really dumb, and if it's not visible, oh, nope. It just freezes sometimes. Okay, CityLine gardening video with Marilyn Denis. Or is it Denis? Is this from Canada? It's from Green Day Rock, yes. City TV. We will see, oh, y'all know Marilyn? CityLine's guest experts do a complete garden makeover on a small backyard. How to make a pergola and lay patio stones, plant a small garden from scratch, how to keep your garden looking good all through summer, Learn do-it-yourself outdoor projects, including making planters and a simple water feature. Cover outdoor chairs instead of setting outdoor table for summer entertaining. This is with John Reeves, Mary Dobson, and Luann Value Village. Let's just check this out. We'll see how much we want to watch. It says gardening video, but it's also about setting a stunning outdoor table for summer entertaining. Maybe we'll... It's like part... I don't know. Part This Old House, part Barefoot Contessa. Oh, it's 1997, baby. Very high energy start. Oh, that is an impressive summer table setting.
Welcome to the CityLine Garden Makeover.
Bees all over that table.
Mary, Luann, and John are taking a well-deserved break because they've all worked very hard over the last couple of months making over a small backyard. Now, this video is going to take you step by step through the entire project. John's going to show you how to transform your garden. Luann, of course, has some great decorating projects for you. And Mary's going to show you how to make wonderful chair pads as well as to set a beautiful outdoor table. Hey, you know what, John? I want to see what this garden looked like last April because I hear it was a huge undertaking.
Well, this yard was essentially just a little city plot. Pretty boring, a postage stamp of grass and the patio tucked off to the side.
Nobody used it, I bet.
Exactly. It was not inviting, so you didn't come out and use it.
Now look at it, though.
Well, what we've done is we've added a seating area, we've put color in with the perennials and then continuous color with a few annual hanging baskets. We've got the water feature. We've added screening with the trellising and with the evergreens that are sort of cutting the yard off a little bit from the ugliness of the neighborhood.
This feels like the beginning of
nice to be out here.
Making over an entire garden.
Reality TV show style camera work.
It's not
where it's just
so bad.
Jumping around all over the
Formulate
place.
a proper plan, and if you don't feel confident to do that, get some help with the plan, and then execute the steps one at a time in the proper order. It will all come together.
A great transformation.
Exactly.
Great.
Like, what
when
is this
executing a
cameraman
garden
doing?
plan,
Is he
the first thing that you have to do is to put in the spine of the garden. What that involves is any structures that you have in the garden, any walkways, any new beds, any changes in elevation, any decks, anything like that, you have to do those first. So on day one, we had to remove any trees and shrubs that had outlived their usefulness and weren't part of this new plan. You also have to make sure that the soil is removed from under patio areas. You don't want that there, it'll make the patio spongy.
Excuse me, my toilet's
Then you
running.
have to make
Better go
arrangements
catch
to
it.
get everything hauled away. And believe me, you will have a lot of stuff to haul away. This particular garden plan calls for a pergola, which is essentially a gazebo without the walls and floors. But if your garden plan calls for that, or any of these fancy fences, or trellis work like this, the first thing that you have to do is dig holes for the posts to go in. You have to lay
I need to
in
replace all the
make sure that they're
flappers in our
level
toilet
and
tanks.
square. Then you pour
They
the
just
concrete in,
intermittently
put
run.
in any brackets that you have to hold the structures.
And it's probably raising
and
the
then
water bill quite a
finally
bit.
lay in limestone screenings so that they're not going to be spongy underneath the stones. Okay, guys, I think we're all ready to go. So with a little help of my friends, we'll get this pergola up.
Good job.
It's up.
Good job, John.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
What we've done here is put a pergola up with pressure-treated wood. The pressure-treated wood won't come in contact with the soil, so we don't need to worry about environmental concerns.
I can't tell you how much I hate this camera
also brings
work.
the cost of the pergola down an awfully
It would probably be fine if I didn't call attention
lats
to
that
it.
we put in here are spaced at a fairly wide spacing because the intention is that we're going to grow vines up the posts so that the vine ends up making a screen over the entire top. So it'll be nice and shaded in the summertime. As you can see, we've still got the patio stones to lay, so there's lots of work left to do.
Stone pavers?
It's now day 3, and it's time to lay down the patio floor under the pergola. Fortunately, the weather gods have been a little kinder to us today. The first step in this process was to take the limestone screenings, get them tamped down.
I can't believe they let pagans on Canadian television.
Nice and level. Now, in order to save some money on this project, we ended up recycling our patio stones that were in the yard. So this is going to save an awful lot of money on the interlock because we're only going to do the perimeter in that. When you start laying down the stones, you've got to make sure that your center pattern is absolutely square to the pergola and nice and level. So what we did is took measuring tapes from the corners in opposite directions, and it lines up perfectly the corners of your patio stones. That way, everything else is going to work out square to the pergola. Once you've got them laid in nice and level, you have to start with the interlock and figure out a pattern that you don't have to do too much cutting with it. This worked out not too badly because I think we've only had to cut 5 or 6 stones. If you're fortunate enough to have a score in it, and all you have to do is make the cut right at the score line, the simplest method is right here, where you're using a cold chisel, and you just go to the score and give it a couple of whacks, and it makes a fairly clean cut. If it's a more complicated cut or you don't have a score, you can use a water saw, or you can also get a carborundum blade for your circular saw, score them, and then use the cold chiseling. Okay, final piece of the patio. Hopefully will fit right in there. There we go. One of the final phases of laying down a patio is to sweep in sand. It does 2 things. It prevents the stones from moving, and the other thing, of course, is it just tends to finish up the look a little bit better. Now, once we get this all cleaned up, it's going to look great. And then we can be on to the next phase of the garden, which is dealing with some elevations in the flower beds.
Dan's tamping over here. We'll get to that in a second. But John's planting rocks. Did you lose
Oh my God, we're getting like full vlog style.
No, what we're doing is putting a little stepping stone path.
Reality TV
back
cameraman.
to the patio, and this is, you want to set the stones in so that when you cut the grass,
I feel like this was
not going to get hit with the lawnmower blade.
like that trend hadn't even.
You end up cutting
the trend
around,
was
and
still
this
new
one
in
I cut
1997.
already. Just
This
take
is
a garden
pioneering
throw,
stuff.
Take this off, and if you grab the saw,
But I hate it.
you can lift it out. And you get rid of that because that's just trouble underneath a stone. And you want to remove a little bit of the topsoil so that you can get some sand in here.
Sand. Now you can't just place the stone in there?
Well, if your soil is very sandy and very well drained, you can probably get away with it. But if you've got any amount of clay at all, you're going to want sand just to make sure that the water is carried away from underneath the stone so it doesn't start to rock and get too mushy.
Oh yeah, you want that nice and stable. I've seen a lot of shaky patios in my day.
Well, this should actually turn out to be okay. A little too much. All right, and then you just...
Is he holding one camera while using another camera to film himself?
Geez, once you get that done, it's a nice little scattered pattern, huh?
Planted rocks. If you take a look at this yard, it's sloping from where the flower bed was down towards the patio, and there's a real slope on it right in through here especially. So what we want to do is make sure that we can put a little Allen block retaining wall that we got from Dominion Coal. We're going to put this wall down here so that we can maybe build the garden up a little higher and remove some of this. So this area will be nice and level, and the flower bed's going to stay where the flower bed should, because every time it rains, it starts to move this way.
Hey, Dan, paisano.
Yes.
It's time to take a break, a videographer break.
Sure, this looks easy.
Yeah, we'll see the tape after you're done, and then and we'll take it from there. Okay, John, so now we're building this retaining wall. How are we going to do it?
Well, an Allen block retaining wall is very simple. Just like we did with the patio, you end up putting some limestone screenings about 4 inches of depth and tamp it in. Tamping just means that it's packed right down, and that is hard, so that the stones won't move.
Did Dan do a nice tamping job?
He did. He gave us very good tamping here.
Good tamper. I like it, boy.
Then, once that's done, the rest of it is actually simplicity itself. You just take the blocks and stack them so that this lip is in front of here. That way the stones don't move, holds the soil back. That's very good with one hand.
Hey, a lot like a jigsaw puddle, though, eh?
That's it.
Puddle. Can't talk, Dan.
Yeah, it's very it's very MTV proto late 90s reality show.
All I know is that I'd rather be planting flowers than these bricks, but anyway, we're going to get to that one day.
I mean, it does give it a different kind of vibe.
We're now at the stage where we start to put in the trees and shrubs. They have to go in before
they're just palling around with the cameraman and everything.
As you can see, we finished up the retaining wall.
It's not necessarily a vibe that I want in this kind of show.
We've removed some soil from here, so that's a little more level. What we've chosen for this spot is a flowering cherry. As you're entering between the houses, you're going to see this in spectacular bloom in the spring. And as it leaves out, it's going to look pretty all summer long. Ultimately, what we want to do is train these branches so that they form a little archway, and you'll enter through an archway. In the spring, they'll be spectacular when they're in flower. We've also selected a couple of other dwarf trees because this yard is small. This is a PG hydrangea, and we selected it because the flowers are most prolific in August, September, and October.
Wait, a Peter Gabriel hydrangea?
Really spectacular at the end of the summer when you really don't have a lot of color happening with the shrubs. Here we've selected a spiced viburnum, and this is spectacular when it's in flower, and also it's extremely fragrant. So it's been planted here near the pergola and seating area so that when you're out here you'll be able to enjoy the fragrance. Finally, we've got a screen planting going in here of cedars. It's going to block the view from the next yard, and these are easily sheared so that you can keep them in bounds. There's a few planting techniques, though, that you should know. This has been planted. This tree comes in a fiber pot, and you have to split off the sides down here. And then, Dan, can you just chip that a couple of times? That's it. All right. You break off these pieces so that it's down to the soil level. If this is allowed to stay up above the grade level, it actually acts as a sort of a sponge, and it dries the pot out so that they don't root out as well. The soil that we're backfilling with has been mixed with lots of peat moss, so it's very open and a good high organic content. And we're at that point now with this one where we should just start to fill it back in. You can see that the peat moss really makes the soil easy to work with. There we go. Once you've got it all tamped down in, Dan, can you just hand me the watering can there?
Sure.
This contains a plant start fertilizer, which is right there. It really helps the plant material root out quickly. So after you've got them all planted like this, the first watering in is with a plant start fertilizer. Make sure that you give them a good soaking and then repeat it in 2 weeks' time. The plants will get established a lot quicker, and our screen is going to look great.
There's a lot going on in the garden today. Take a look. New plants and painting, all kinds of great things. But I really want you to come and see what I've
Channel ID space exhausted.
I made this water feature. You could make something like this out of anything you have around your house. But I used all of these garden implements and other things that I had in the garden.
What
I had
does
this
that
ladder
mean?
and the watering can. Down here I have a planter, and I've got some terracotta pots that the water's going to splash over. And over here I've got some old garden implements that I arranged against the wall. In the planter here, I've lined it with a heavy gauge plastic. It's 6 mil. You want something really heavy so that it doesn't tear over time, and so that it will keep the water in the planter. Especially if you're using something that's not watertight, you don't want water spilling all over the place. Down in the water, I have submerged a pump. The pump is the only thing that costs money. Everything else you might find around or you could buy inexpensively, but you want to spend some money on the pump so that you have one that's strong enough to pull the water out of the planter, up here, into the watering can, and then it's going to come out. Doesn't that look great? Now I have everything arranged here. I'm just going to add a few plants, and then I'm all set.
As you've noticed, we put up some trellising, and this
I
is
have
a
no
really
idea what this
interesting
means.
method of mounting it. We've taken T-bars, pounded them in, and used trellising.
Oh, it's a
that
rabbit
has
and Q error.
solid side on it. and you just
That's not
drill
good.
screws through the T-bar to hold the trellising in place. It makes it very secure, and as you can see, this fence definitely wouldn't have been very good. We've got some vines here that are going to go up. By the end of the summer, they'll be completely covered. We've used a similar method right here next to the garage, and we did that because we didn't want to bolt onto the neighbor's garage. Those are freestanding trellises, and it is going to stay there, no problem.
Okay, so what if I restart this?
We've also added wisteria vine, and this is going to be tied off to this post, and will go up and completely cover the pergola. When they're in flower, there's gorgeous purple flowers in June. For the entrance to the pergola, we've used boxwood. This is a very slow-growing evergreen shrub, and it's going to be nice because it'll sort of offer a very formal entrance in here. Over here, we've used a gorgeous method of creating a sort of living fence. This is an espaliered weeping larch.
Hey, so it works now.
You can use it with any weeping sort of tree, and you simply tie the branches on with little twist ties.
I don't believe any of you
and as this fills out, it'll become a nice solid wall.
I don't believe the
so
fun
that when
points
you're
that you
dining
used
in
for
here,
those
you've got more
stand-backs were
intimacy.
consumed.
We've also added,
I'm pretty sure,
the Japanese maple in here, both for its texture and for its color. This is going to make a really nice feature, especially when you're sitting in the dining area and looking back at the yard over there. In here, next to the water feature, we put in a weeping hemlock. It stays nice and small, but even more critically, as you can see, this area is very dark, and this evergreen here will survive in low shade
I'm using
areas.
Rabbit
So you can
MQ,
usually
which
find
is a
plant
message
to
queuing
fit
system.
Any place that you need.
So like
In this
when
wooded
you
corner of the yard, we're adding hostas. We've got some arum and bleeding hearts. We're going to use these as little pockets of
when it
color.
processes a
This
command,
Boston ivy is going to
it'll be
cover
like,
up this
okay,
really
stand back
ugly
command, that's
fence.
300 phone
By
points, and what that
midsummer, you
code
won't
does
even
is
know it's
deduct
there.
300 points from your balance, and then
This part
add
of
a
the
message
garden
onto a
is the
queue
perennial
that
garden
later gets
section.
processed by something
And we've
else to
incorporated
be
a
like, all
number of
right, let's put
elements
that on the
into
screen.
it. First of all, we've got the heights undulating all the way
Apparently
down.
Rabbit MQ, which I have not done a
won't
lot of
appear
research
sort
into
of like
before
a
starting to use,
lawn.
just
It's
has
gonna
this
have
concept
lots
of
height
channels.
differential. We've also got
And you can
little
only
features
open
like these sedums right
2048
here. They're gonna
channels.
spill out over the edge of the stone, but they're still
Maximum.
not going to interfere with being able to sit in this area because we want to use this
And
wall
when you
as
handle when I'm
seating
handling a message, for every message that I handle,
Back
I open a
here,
new channel, which
we've
is
got an
apparently
ornamental grass, and it's going to get
stand back
up
is actually
just above the
300, which
fence
is
level by the
I
end
should
of the
probably
summer.
just make them all
It's going to
200
give
for
us a
consistency.
very soft, feathery texture.
Because literally
When
everything
you're
else
doing
costs
perennial
200.
gardens, make sure that you consider different leaf shape and texture. Under the cherry
It
tree here,
is, let's
we
see.
put in some ajuga ground cover, which is just
Well,
gonna
it's
form
apparently a
very
bad practice to
colorful
open a
mat,
channel
and it'll
for every
contrast
message that
nicely
you
with the
handle. I
cherry
should be
blooms.
reusing them somehow, but I don't know.
I've got some creative ideas here to show you for planting your annuals. This is just a little boudoir chair, and I,
mean,
took the seat off
yeah,
it,
maybe
and I
I'm
took
missing
the top
that,
part
too.
of a wire lamp shade, and I put this cocoa mat in it, and then I planted all the pansies and the geraniums inside of it. This one is just one of those white plastic pots that you see everywhere, and I tacked on these pieces of bark.
I
You
used
can see the tacks
in my last
inside
job.
the
I
pot
used
here.
we
When
used
you're
Apache
planting in here,
Kafka
you probably
for
want to put another pot
sort of
inside so that it will be
coordinating
watertight.
background work
An old
and
copper bowl,
having
and these are the
microservices kind of
legs
hand
a
work off
stool.
to each
Again, I
other.
took the seat off and I just put the copper bowl
But
inside.
Kafka is like expensive
one, I had
and a
4
pain to set up,
shutters that were all the same size, so I painted them,
which
nailed
is
them
why I'm
together,
using Rabbit
and
MQ,
put
a
my
thing that I
plant
don't know that
inside.
much about.
So this year, have a little fun with your annuals and plant them in something different.
Yeah, the back end is all go.
A lot of people don't think about
There may be a
cement, but you can
defer
really make some wonderful
close
things.
call that I forgot to put in somewhere.
Planter here that I've made, and a couple of stepping stones, and I'm going to show you how to make a bird bath. I've got the dry cement in the bucket here, and I've just poured it into a big bucket for mixing. When you're working with cement, you want to wear gloves, and if you're pouring the dry cement, you should also wear a face mask. I'm just going to pour the water in. You want to mix it up until it's about the consistency of mud. Cement isn't hard to work with, but it is heavy and it does require a lot of mixing. You can use anything for a mold. And just like when you're cooking, you should oil the mold so that it will slide out easily.
Yeah, Go has a keyword called defer.
And I'm going to push all this cement down in.
So you can do defer and then a function
when you're
call.
mixing the cement, if you find you've added a little bit too much water, add a little more dry cement.
What that does is whenever the function that you're in leaves, exits, gets popped off the stack. Whenever you leave that scope, that function will get automatically called.
So you want to make sure that you have the right consistency. Looks something like this, and you want to wear gloves. Don't touch it with your bare hands. So I've got it in the mold, and I've oiled the back of this. This is just a little serving tray. I think you put your dip here and your chips here, but I thought it would make a perfect bird bath. So I'm going to press it down in.
Okay, I'm making a hit the bricks
Put it
pull.
right down in like that.
We can keep on watching this,
And
or we
then
can find
pack
something
all
else to
the
watch.
cement in around it, and try to get it all nice and flat. The inner mold needs to be weighted down, so I've put some bricks in here to hold it in while the cement is drying. And I've got some really nice lake pebbles and some bits of glass from the lake that I'm going to use to decorate around the side of the bird bath. Once I've got it all decorated, this is quickscent cement, so it will only take about an hour to dry, and then I can take my bird bath out. When that's dried, it's going to come right out of the mold easily because we oiled the mold. You can see this one is dry, and actually this is just a little brass trivet that I set in the cement, pops right out, and then
It
I
is
have a fabulous
like every language construct in Go. It's like the most straightforward, simple way possible of achieving that,
pottery, bits of wire,
that
anything
kind
that
of
you have around.
functionality
You
in the
can also
language.
make tabletops. Just go wild with your imagination.
Which is what I like
For
about
this
Go.
one, I actually put a bowl upside down on a sheet of plastic, and then I poured the cement over top. You can see how rough it is here, and it makes that great little planter. So when my bird bath is dry, I can set it up on a stand, and I'll have another bird bath. I can make twice as many birds happy.
Okay, so who has time to water? I mean, really, we all have very busy lives. Well, it's okay, because John took that all into account.
It's been a week and a half since we've been here last, and as you can see, we put in a lot of plant material, much of which has already started to leaf out and even come into flower. Look at the fragrant viburnum, also smells great.
All right.
The wisteria is coming into bloom.
What are we
You can
watching?
see that
I've
the
got
perennials are starting to root out and really take hold. Even the espalier tree over
We've
here
still
is
got
starting to leaf out.
Grand
That
Canyon
weeping
with Telly
larch is gonna
Savalas.
look
I also
terrific
have
as the
Meet the
summer
Met
goes
if you
on.
want opera scenes.
We've also added lots
or
of
we can
garden
watch something
mulch.
else.
And we did that for a couple of reasons.
I'm open to
First,
suggestions.
it keeps the weeds down. Secondly, it allows a greater length of time between waterings because the moisture is retained in the soil better. But we also did it to hide this irrigation system. This is an ooze hose system right here. And the water oozes out, doesn't get the foliage wet, which is really great in keeping diseases down. But even more importantly,
I don't think we have
60
commercials.
to 70% less water. We split the yard into two. Each side has a 100-foot hose, and that allows the system to work really well under normal pressure. If you go much longer hose than that, you don't necessarily have a good pressure. In high traffic areas like here, we've laid a garden hose through a pipe. These are just old table legs, but any type of pipe.
There's
will
definitely
work.
more mystery
And when
tapes.
we lay the sod in over this and people walk back and forth,
But that's
the hose
more
won't get
effort
collapsed.
than I want to put in right now.
To make it even simpler, each side of the yard connects into this timer clock. And in order to sufficiently water the yard, it takes about 45 minutes to an hour to soak each side. And as you can see over here, the water oozes out of the hose.
That's a good idea, Trill. I also picked up a couple of tapes
This
at the
water
thrift store
will move
yesterday that were
horizontally across the soil
that seemed
so
like they'd
the whole
be
bed will get soaked
good for
because we've
Juneteenth.
woven the hose throughout the plants. This is a great idea, the combination of soaker hose
All right,
and
let's do
mulch
Grand Canyon.
to really create a low-maintenance garden.
Well,
This has been CityLine with Marilyn and some other people. I do not need more tapes, no, but Trill, you should send in the golden ticket box whenever you want. And then after that, I need no more tapes. I only got 8 yesterday, and they were I was selective. They were good choices. In fact, I'll be right back. So this is just real quick what I got yesterday. I'll have to scan these and put them on the website. We got Memory and Imagination, New Pathways to the Library of Congress. I picked things that I figure like are very unlikely that anyone else would find. There is this Oster Clipper video about how to cut people's hair at home. There is a quilt cut instructional video. UNC State Park and Lodge, Unicoi State Park and Lodge from Great Georgia Getaways. Catching Crappie Club by Walter Young. There were a lot of tapes about fishing, and all of them were moldy except for this one. There's also the Clown-Faced Carpenter, which I thought would be fun carpentry zany antics, but it's actually about a bird. And then the two that I think looks good for Wednesday stream. This is Faith Ringgold, The Last Story Quilt, and Jacob Lawrence, The Glory of Expression. These are from the African American Artists series. So, for a number of reasons, seem like they'd be great things to have in the collection. So those are the 8 tapes that I bought yesterday. Just 8. Just 8. No more. But now I think it's time to get to a tape that's been with us for a very long time. It is tape number 91, been sitting on my shelf for 7 months. The Grand Canyon, A Journey into Discovery, featuring Telly Savalas. Rare aerial photography, riding the river rapids, mule ride, wildlife, 4 seasons, human history, the Anasazi, Hopi, Navajo, and Havasupai Indians, Spanish conquistadores, Powell River explorations, and much more. There is so much to learn about the Grand Canyon here. This is a must movie for your video library, and the perfect gift idea of priceless entertainment. Those are some words. Exclusively produced for and in association with Grand Canyon Natural History Association. Panorama International, Beverly Hills, California. Oh, the other thing I got at the thrift store was I did end up picking this up. It's Eyewitness History of the World on CD-ROM. We can at some point do a special stream where we hook up a Windows 95 virtual machine. I don't know if Martin Sheen is in it. There is no Martin Sheen credit on the CD-ROM, but maybe. All right. Grand Canyon, A Journey into Discovery. Get ready. Ooh. Visions of America. I don't know exactly when this was made.
Navajo, Wallapai, Paiute, Havasupai. These are words of the Western world. These are the words of the world of the Grand Canyon.
I am boosting this tape by a paltry 3 decibels. Definitely not 30. At no point will I raise it to 30. And certainly not like 80. Sorry about that. The Grand Canyon, a journey into discovery. Yay, Telly. Telly Savalas was Kojak, right? I never watched Kojak. It was like a cop show from the 70s. It's featuring Telly Savalas, a cool bald guy. He was like the coolest bald man of the 70s.
The world would be flooded and all creation would be destroyed, says an ancient Indian legend. The deluges came and all the earth was covered. When the flood ceased and all the waters rushed away to the sea, they cut through the rocky plateaus and made the deep canyons of the Colorado River.
We're going up one more decibel, but that's it. Definitely no more orders of magnitude.
Still believe that the river is the runoff from a great flood that once covered the world. I'm Telly Savalas. Let's take a closer look. Over millions of years,
they're really proud of the fact that they hired Telly Savalas.
Angular and rounded shapes, each reflecting the light.
Usually the narrator of a doc, like,
at its own peculiar.
they could have had every eyewitness start off with, "I'm Martin Sheen. Let's learn about horses."
Understanding of distances.
But they did not.
Terraces of turrets, spires and cupolas, many higher than the highest mountains of the eastern United States, are stark and gaunt, yet their beauty is ethereal.
I'm digging this music so far.
The Grand Canyon's aesthetic wonders are its geologic features, crafted by the meticulous processes of unimaginable time. Its rock stratas go back far beyond recorded history. At the edge of a caramel-colored river stand rocks that were formed 2 billion years ago, when the world was half as old as it is today.
I did not know that Telly Savalas had any kind of musical career.
Halfway up the cliffs are the fossils of the first form of animal life.
Or is it a spoken word
at the
single?
edge of the rim, minuscule and representing milliseconds,
If
span of cosmic time,
Bread Song
here stands man. No matter how far you've wandered hitherto, or how many famous gorges and valleys you've seen, this one, the Grand Canyon of the Colorado, will seem as novel to you, as unearthly in the color and grandeur and quality of its architecture, as if you had found it after death on some other star. John Muir, the famous naturalist, eloquently summarized the magnitude of this great rift. Ravens soar between its rims, their cries breaking against the silence of immeasurable time captured within its depths. Cliffs and turrets are awash in waves of color from the ever-changing patterns of light from sunrise to sunset. Bathed in the white light of midday, the walls flatten and lack luster, life, and form. There's only the awareness of stillness and deepness as the canyon seems to sleep in the heat of the sun.
I wonder if this is the only song we get.
Mystery invades
It's a nice groove.
in the advance of evening. Painted with the rays of a setting sun,
Not a lot of
form and
forward
character
momentum
of this
to it, though.
primeval land
Oh, it's a dog.
communicates all that music and art have striven for thousands of years to express. Somewhere on a plateau, a coyote joins in nocturnal song with the always rushing river below. All life pauses, and as prehistoric man waiting out the long night in canyon wall caves must have done, listens and wonders. The year 1492 marked a turning point in man's history. Reverberations from that great year
that's
of
an
discovery would roll over the next 4 centuries and across the New World, touching even this remote and isolated region. Legends had flourished in the Old World, telling of unknown lands and fabulous riches just waiting to be found. Europeans had long sought the fabled Strait of Anian, a northwest passage to the Orient, and it would perhaps be in its discovery that the greatest glory lay. Christopher Columbus, searching for this all-water route in 1492, did not find riches in the New World he stumbled upon, but those who followed in quest of gold, glory, and new territory to claim for Spain uncovered wealth beyond their wildest dreams.
I mean, didn't Columbus, like, enslave people and force them to mine gold
To
for
the
him?
Spanish conquistadores fell the great Aztec, Mayan, and Incan empires.
I think that counts
that
as
held
wealth.
the knowledge of astronomy and a calendar, builders of temples atop pyramids, and practitioners of human sacrifice in terrible, intense ceremonies. Were there not possibilities of even greater wealth to the north? In 1540, Don Francisco de Coronado and a company of several hundred soldiers rode forth from Mexico, called New Spain, in search of the 7 cities of Cibola, an Indian kingdom rumored to be rich in gold and jewels. In the province of Tusayan, the land of the Hopi Indians, they learned of a great river and chasm lying to the west. Captain Garcia Lopez de Cardenas and a small number of soldiers were dispatched to investigate. 20 days later, they arrived at the edge of the South Rim, the first white men to gaze upon the Grand Canyon. The canyon was regarded as the final obstacle to a fruitless quest, and the company returned to Mexico. By the early 1800s, the Spanish Empire was on the decline. The fabled golden cities had turned into mud huts, and the dreams of glory and riches were as faded as the brilliance of the Spanish crown. Spain lost its western colonies to Mexico in 1822, and in 1846, at the end of the Mexican-American War, the Grand Canyon was ceded to the United States. In the days of imperial Spain, the church, in its quest for the salvation of souls, accompanied the conquistadores on their journeys of exploration. Christianity and other facets of European life were introduced to the Native Americans.
Oh. What?
in a place where even you cannot find them.
What?
So do what you will.
Someone taped over Telly Savalas.
They are living in the mountains at the home of a shepherd named
Is this
Patino.
just an episode of Kojak?
This is a picture of your sister. And of course the children. These were taken yesterday. The 9-year-old, he looks like he's a good soccer player. Maybe not with broken legs. And here...
Stop! The man came to me with the password. Then he came back with the girl.
Name, description?
Is it actually Kojak?
Very pretty. He called her Betty. I don't know her family name. I don't know the man's name.
It is not important, Mr. Burak. Because I think my nephew does. Is that right, Major?
His name is MacGyver.
It's MacGyver.
Been using you, Stepan. She must be an American agent.
I cannot believe this.
The microfilm must be among the things you took from her. Where are they?
Is this MacGyver? And up, that's the end. What's happening to this tape? It's just blank after that? It's just blank after that. This was originally an 80-minute program, and oh, never mind, we're back. Someone briefly realized their mistake and stopped overwriting Telly Savalas and the Grand Canyon.
The walls and plateaus of the Grand Canyon hold the story of the prehistoric people of the Southwest.
Okay, well...
Over 2,500 ruins and archaeological sites have been located within Grand Canyon National Park.
Was that actually an episode of MacGyver? I didn't think MacGyver was that intense.
Built between 1185 and 1200 AD, and named after...
But I've never actually watched MacGyver. I've just watched the MacGruber sketches on
Nearest the
SNL.
canyon's rich cultural history, walls 1 and 2 stories high, were constructed of
Well, now I'm scared to leave this tape unattended.
clay mortar. The walls formed a broad U shape, protecting a court or plaza, which was open to the sunlight. The pueblo was inhabited by 25 or 30 people. By 1225 AD, this and all other pueblos of the area were abandoned. The Tusayan Museum serves as a key to the ruin, providing a chronological story of human history and development in the Southwest. Anasazi, the ancient ones, the Navajo people named them. The earliest Anasazi were the basket maker groups, so named because their baskets were of extremely high quality, made from the leaf fibers of the yucca plant. Some were so tightly woven
That's a Spanish friar with scissors.
Caves date back almost 2,000 years.
I guess because MacGyver, you know, is known for cobbling together tools out of various materials, and MacGyvering is a verb that means to do that. It's getting very confused. Hop, hop, hop.
A community-oriented way of life evolved with the practice of agriculture. The small crops of maize required care, and more permanent villages of partly subterranean houses were built.
Dog.
The bow and arrow added to the skill of the hunter.
Look at that tiny
Food
dog.
was
Oh,
prepared and stored for times of hardship and hunger. Throughout the centuries of planting and harvesting seasons, a settled and civilized society developed. The highest level of culture in North America was reached by the Anasazi. Then suddenly and inexplicably, they abandoned their homes and lands. Anthropologists can only speculate as to their fate.
There was a dog hair in my mouth.
Sensing the power of nature captured in this jagged land, the Indians wove it into
Sometimes
their
you
myths
cough up
and
dog hair
religions.
when your
Almost
dog sheds a lot.
4,000 years ago, ancient man sought out remote caves in the red wall limestone cliffs and placed his split-twig animal figurines in the darkest recesses of the earth, practicing his sympathetic magic to ensure a successful hunt. Kivas, partly subterranean rooms, were used primarily for religious purposes. In the floor is an orifice called the Sipapu, which symbolizes the place of emergence from the underworld to this world. Similar kivas are used by the Hopi. Some still believe that after death, the spirit re-enters the Sipapu and returns to the land of the dead, which lies beneath the Grand Canyon. Nature was the altar of spiritual devotions. Legends explain the origin of all things, and poetic myths were ideas, expressed with beauty and power, and passed from generation to generation by tribal storytellers and medicine men. They enabled the people to cope with a harsh environment and made comprehensible the forces of their unique world. A recurring theme through the mythology was the awesome and powerful presence of the river, the big water deep down in earth, that seemed to have no beginning and no end, and led to the underworld, home of the gods. Water had life, and springs had souls, and were placated with ceremonious offerings. Water in this moisture-starved land is the core of existence. Here, where the blue-green waters of Havasu Creek plunge over waterfalls to become still in pools of turquoise, is the home of the Havasupai, people of the blue-green water. Their 2.5 mile long oasis is the only reservation found within the boundaries of a national park. They're a peaceful nation whose people say they have never killed a white man. Since they were never at war with the United States, the Havasupai Indian Reservation was established in 1882 by executive order rather than by treaty. The Havasupai were driven from their homes on the plateau by raiding Indians in the 12th century. The small population, never numbering more than 300, found refuge on the canyon floor 3,000 feet below the walls of red sandstone. The Havasupai's interest is centered in his fields of cultivated crops and small herds of cattle. Principal crops are corn, squash, beans, melons, and fruit. Intertribal trade is carried on with the Navajo, Hopi, and Wallapais. Vegetables, fruit, and dressed hides are exchanged for blankets, wool, and silverwork. Twin rocks stand atop a weather-eroded cliff. They are supernatural beings, say the Havasupai, watching over the tribe and guarding their destiny. Should they ever fall, and someday they must, the village and the entire Havasupai people will cease to exist.
I've never heard of the Havasupai. It seems like a neat little community down there in the middle of the Grand Canyon.
Hi, do you do?
We came from Japan and she riding motorcycle around the places. So yeah, thank you. Yeah.
This lady just came back from Death Valley where she rode a motorcycle, a dirt bike in Death Valley. So James, I thought we'd take her for a horseback ride down to the waterfall.
Most welcome here, and we welcome you. It's a pleasure to meet you. And what we will do though is we'll go outside for the horses.
Thank you.
Yeah. Follow me. We'll go ahead.
Okay, good.
We'll go ahead and get you onto the horse first, okay? So if you want to come on, we'll go ahead and get you on. Okay, now what you're going to have to do is go ahead and put your foot onto this and then go ahead and go on over.
よいしょ。あ、ちょうどいいかな。かな。あっとねねど。
Yeah, I have never seen the Grand Canyon with my eyes, and I would love to someday.
平気かな。
It's deceptively far away from wherever you happen to be in the Southwest, because the Southwest is so vast.
Dogs are in
Oh,
form
dogs.
today. Playing.
Look at them jumping around.
I've never seen that many dogs here before.
あ、そう？
Yeah, the most I've ever seen.
どうしたんだろうこの犬は。どっから湧いてきたのかな。喧嘩してるのかな。
Which waterfall is this one?
あ、本当に？
Does this have a name?
Fall?
No name.
No name. どこ？ Where is the fall?
Waterfall is coming up right here.
ああ。
The first one, but it's very small. It doesn't even have a name.
Yeah, the pace of this has suddenly changed, and it's gotten very chill. We're just kind of riding along with this Japanese tourist as she discovers the natural beauty of the Havasupai land.
ここもまた深そうだな。
And horses are pretty strong, huh? I hope we don't get MacGyvered again in the middle of this. I'm enjoying this segment.
Get off the horses here, and we'll walk down this trail and take a closer look at the waterfall. Oh, come on.
water came from the Flagstaff also?
All of the water that comes into supply, they say originates from Flagstaff. It comes out, hoping to have supply.
To the east of the Grand Canyon, atop 3 barren sunburned mesas, live the Pueblo people who call themselves Hopi, the peaceful people. The lands and villages, once described as autonomous as Greek city-states, are highly organized under the clan system. The Hopi are a conservative and extremely religious people. Contact with the Spanish conquistadores and missionaries, and later the reservation system, has had little effect on the political and religious spheres of their life. They are perhaps the most representative pre-contact cultural entity surviving in the United States today. The Hopi have occupied these mesas for centuries. Oraibi is the oldest continuously inhabited town in North America, dating from at least 1100 to 1200 AD. When Coronado's emissary, Pedro de Tovar, came to the region in 1540, Oraibi was the only village on the mesa top. One of the pueblos on the valley floor was attacked and defeated by de Tovar and his conquistadores, and the Hopi submitted to Spanish rule. In 1680, the repressive yoke of Spanish authority was thrown off. A guard against further interference developed. The other villages were moved to the mesa tops for better protection, and the Hopi people withdrew into an even more closely knit social order, with greater secrecy for the preservation of their religious beliefs and cultural values.
As I learned recently from the Museum of the Cherokee Indian
is surrounded by
in
the
Cherokee,
Navajo
North Carolina,
Reservation. It is the nation's
sovereignty is a difficult thing to
24,000
pick
square
apart
miles,
and define
some of which
in the
reaches
context
into
of
Utah and New Mexico.
federally recognized Native
Population
American
numbers
tribes.
nearly 100,000.
But they are indeed
The Navajos, who swept down from western Canada between
sovereign
1000 and
while also being
1400
subject
AD,
to federal
raiding settlements along the way,
control of some
settled
sort.
down and copied the Hopi.
But yes, they have their own like governments and
Their
local
dwellings were
laws, and they have the
are
authority
constructed of
to
logs and mud and blend well into the natural setting.
determine those laws for themselves while still having to recognize U.S. federal law. And it varies a lot by,
In the 1600s,
community
they
and
acquired
nation.
horses and
But
sheep from the Spaniards, as well as the knowledge of working.
they have their own governing
They are
bodies.
semi-nomadic,
They have their own
moving with
elections.
sheep and goats from
At least the
winter to
Cherokee
summer
have their own
homes,
elections.
and doing some farming. Both Navajo and Hopi produce arts and crafts that rank for the most highly perfected and richest of the North American tribes. Colorful rugs and blankets are produced by both tribes. However, in Hopi society, men do the weaving. In the midst of a civilization whose mechanical ingenuity is unparalleled in history, the loom and the hand-weaving technique have remained unchanged since about the 17th century. Hopi basket weaving is a technology that has remained virtually unchanged for the last 7,000 years. The three distinct methods of construction, wicker, coiling, and plating, that characterize the craft today are shown in the oldest existing baskets found preserved at archaeological sites. Sterling silver jewelry is perhaps one of the most distinctive forms of craft work. Jewelry crafted by the Navajo is usually massive and set with turquoise. Hopi overlay silver with its abstract art form appears to be of a modern design, but actually predates the South American Columbian era, which reached its peak around the 12th century AD. Sometime around 600 to 800
She's chilling
AD,
under my desk.
during the period called Basket Maker III, the Indians learned how to make and fire true pottery. Since the potter's wheel was unknown in the prehistoric New World, all the work was carried out by hand.
The Basket Maker III era, from 500 to 750 AD,
The clay vessels were usually
was the
started
third
in
period in
abundance.
which the ancient Pueblo
Rolls
people
of
were
clay
cultivating
coiled
food,
around,
began making pottery,
each coil being made to adhere to the one
living in more
beneath.
sophisticated pit house
The
dwellings.
bowl was usually then scraped to a smooth surface. When the clay dried, the vessel was sometimes painted with a simple design in black organic paint. It was then fired in a wood fire. The result was usually some shade of gray, and occasionally a reddish color was produced. By 1300 AD, the ceramic art changed to its present form.
What a thrill.
The land is the soul of the Navajo. Religion and traditions are based on the land. Harvest time, the end of another growing season, is a celebration, a song of life.
Howdy, this is Grand Canyon, a journey into discovery, narrated by Telly Savalas. It appears to be probably from the late 70s, an educational documentary on the Grand Canyon and the history of its peoples. And yeah, it was briefly taped over with a MacGyver episode, but we recovered.
The people mingle in pageantry and praise of traditional Indian values.
There was a brief incident, but we recovered.
A sacred ceremonial dance is performed as a reminder of religious values.
This has not been described as a powwow, I don't think.
In an atmosphere of competition and camaraderie, tribes share in their skills and art and enjoy.
But maybe it is, I don't know. No, this is an SP. So yeah, it was just the MacGyver.
As sandal feet beat the bare earth, a haunting chant rises against the throb of an age-old rhythm.
Hey, Joshy D, good morning to you. We're watching the Grand Canyon Journey into Discovery, narrated by Telly Savalas. They're really proud of the fact that they got Telly for this. Hey, Green Day, thank you for gifting a sub to Joshy D. Yeah, this tape was briefly interrupted with someone recording over it with an episode of MacGyver, but that only lasted like a minute, and then we got back to the tape. He's Kojak, yeah. I described him as the coolest bald man of the 70s. That's all I know about Telly Savalas.
Corn is the mother of the Hopi, say the Hopi Indians. Moenkopi, place of running water, is the only village with irrigated fields. In this arid climate, there is felt an urgent need for supernatural assistance. Elaborate, complex ceremonials are performed throughout the year.
Oh. I've had a few bad haircuts in my day, let me tell you.
The Kachina Society forms half the ceremonial life of the Hopi.
It was the worst shave of your life?
Kachinas are considered to be divine beings who act as intermediaries between man and God.
Like
in
clean shave?
Hopi men who have been
How do you
trained
screw that up?
and
Did he
initiated
nick you?
put on masks and dance in solemn ritual to personify the Kachinas. Through them, the people pray for rain, crops, and fertility. The men who impersonate Kachinas in the dances carve small wooden replicas of their Kachina appearance. They're not toys, but are valued possessions, for the effigy is considered to bear a portion of the Kachina spirit's power. The dolls are given to the children of the village during the ceremonies. Through these dolls, they learn the meaning and symbolism of their ancestral gods.
Ooh, jeez.
There are about 250 different Kachinas. Each has its own name, dance steps, songs, and holy decorations.
The most unnerving part of
the mask is the most important, for it identifies the
of haircuts for me is when my barber gets his straight razor and shaves
power and spirit. When the Hopi dancers wear the
cleans
masks,
up the underside of my eyebrows and stuff.
They become part of them, and they are the Kachinas.
But he's very good at it.
Hopi legends,
he's never made
myths,
me
and
bleed
customs
ever.
Are reflected in some Kachina details. Objects in the hands indicate the Kachina's role, who he is, and what he does. The snake in Hopi legend is a descendant from a tribal ancestor who journeyed by way of the river
19th century
to the underworld
Elvis.
home of the gods. There he met the snake people, one of whose maidens he married. Upon his return to the village, his snake wife and snake children were driven out by fellow villagers who feared their bite. This action offended the gods, and they sent a drought that the Hopi could lift only by welcoming snakes back into the villages.
Snake coming. Snake coming.
The snake
Rocky
ceremony
and Elvis.
is believed to be one of the most ancient of Pueblo rituals. Live rattlesnakes, who represent lightning, are carried in the hands and in the mouths of the dancers. They're then released to carry the prayers of the priests to the gods.
So subdue it, put it down. What he was saying was, snake coming. Snake coming.
The parched land.
Basket Weaver 3. Rain in the Grand Canyon.
The eerie light cast over the land when a storm approaches creates a study in light and shadow, of contour and contrast. Thunder reverberates in the canyon and seems captured there in perpetuity, like the sound of the ocean in the seashell. Rain releases the perfumes of the dry land, filling the air with the smell of water, the aroma of dampened dust, and the 1,000 other fragrances of nature when raindrops fall.
Oh, this tape. Come on, buddy. Do we need to adjust tracking? Oh, that's making it worse. Let me just eject that real quick. See if we can let the automatic tracking find a good good baseline here. Oh no, Telly. Come on, Telly. It definitely got bad before I touched it.
Groves of quaking aspen add a brilliant show of autumn color and stand in stark contrast to the harsh desert below. There's 200 inches of snowfall at the North Rim. Its architectural grandeur was described by geologist Clarence Dunne in 1882.
Every good country band needs 3 banjo players.
Splendor of its color and its wonderful atmosphere, all of the attributes combined
Yeah, I think this tape might be dying.
To produce a whole which at first bewilders and at length overpowers. The Kaibab, a Paiute Indian word meaning mountain.
I'm getting a sense of where the sweet spot is here on the tracking, and I don't think it's
50 miles long and 35 miles wide.
Gonna stay watchable.
Rises 5,000 feet above the white.
If I go a little to the left or a little to the right of it, it gets
isolated on the
bad.
south and east by the Grand Canyon.
And the auto tracking can't figure it out by itself.
Stands of tall spruces, pines, and firs are encouraged by the heavy snowfall.
I think this may be an involuntary hitting the bricks.
Cover of the Kaibab Plateau.
Thank you to Telly. Hopefully we don't get copyright claims for MacGyver. That was good. I'm glad that we got through the the part I was most interested in was the sections on the Havasupai and the Navajo and the Hopi, and it seems like we got most of that. So I'm glad for that. I also enjoyed the chill 10-minute segment of just a Japanese lady riding a horse. But yeah, I believe that's going to be it for Telly. We're going to have to pick something else. What could it possibly be? Should we random? I'm just going to random. Kathy Smith's step workout. We just had a step workout. We don't need more. The Little Rascals, Volume 6. What about the Iditarod? Do y'all want to hear? Do y'all want to see dog sledding? Let me add that to the list. Iditarod. Animal Antics Summer. No, thank you. We already did that. Snowman is Christmas. Celtic Feet. Irish dancing. All right. With the star of Riverdance, Colin Dunne. Complete course in professional photography. I want to wait on that one. Red Skeleton, Ray Stevens, Scholastic. Smoky Mountain is good, but the last one got VOD blocked, so I want to be careful about that one. You know what? Let's just pick between these two. Iditarod or Celtic Feet? Let me poll. Iditarod, Dog Time, Mush, Celtic Feet, Riverdance, Irish. Okay. There is a poll. Please vote for your favorite. Whoops. Let's see. Iditarod, 1996, is, I believe, a retrospective documentary showing the highlights of the 1996 Iditarod. And Celtic Feet is hosted by the greatest male Irish dancer of all time. And it is an instructional tape that will teach you to do the Riverdance. Oh, it's looking like a tie. Y'all better get in there. Oh, all right. By a hair, Celtic Feet has taken it. We will certainly keep Iditarod on deck, though. Celtic Feet, Irish Step Dancing with Colin Dunne, star of Riverdance, tape number 496, sent in by the Bella Bunny. Let me go find that on the shelf. Yeah, Sasquatch, I was also about trying to cast a tie vote at the last minute, so if we had both succeeded, we would have changed the outcome instead of tying it. All right, it's Celtic Feet. Oh my god. I love Femme Kirby with legs. Cool. Irish dance is the smash hit phenomenon of the 90s. You can say that again. This tape is from 1997. Rooted in ancient Celtic tradition, its infectious rhythm and electrifying choreography have thrust it into the limelight as one of today's hottest sensations. Now you too can enjoy the excitement and the spirit of the spectacular yet easy-to-learn dance. Colin Dunne, 9-time world dance champion and star of Riverdance, fills the screen with his warmth and charm, explaining clearly and concisely how to dance just like him. You'll learn firsthand why the Irish poet calls Colin the greatest male Irish dancer of all time. Oh, I love monk chanting. I've only been to New York City a few times, but there's this bar in, I think, the Lower East Side called Burp Castle, where it's like monk themed. They play Gregorian chants on cassette tape in the bar. And the whole vibe of the place is that you're not allowed to talk loudly. So they will, like, the bartender will shush you if you're too loud. It's my favorite bar I've ever been to. I love monk chanting. Together with members of the Celtic Feet Dance Company, Colin performs superb routines that you too can dance once you've mastered the basics. Then again, you can sit back and enjoy this unique dance video filled with dazzling tradition and special magic of the Emerald Isles. Yes, it was called Burp Castle. Oh, it's still there, I think? Yeah. 41 East, it's on East 7th Street. Anyway, let's watch Riverdance. Celtic Feet. Hey, we got a bingo winner. Is it Green Day? Is Green Day the bingo winner? Congrats. Does the bingo winner have 2 thumbs? Excellent. Please tell me this is gonna work. We seem to be struggling at the beginning here. This is not an old tape. Wiener World Limited advises you that this videogram is sold exclusively for private and non-theatrical use. This is the weirdest copyright warning I've ever seen. And our tracking is not doing great. Oh, we lost tracking. Come on, man.
A Wiener World presentation.
I want to see this so badly. What a tease to just be hearing Wiener World presentation and not get the video signal. Damn it. This is
a Wiener World presentation.
This is such a shame. Let me see if this is gonna work. It's a screening copy of Celtic Feet. Yeah, I do not think either the VCR or the capture device do not. It's confounding the capture device is what's happening.
Hi, my name's Colin Dunne.
Oh,
and I've been
missing
dancing
so
for
much.
as long as I can remember. In fact, this little fella here is me when I was 2 years old, taking my first dance with my 2 sisters. Meanwhile,
look at little Colin.
as I've seen through my trips to the States and to Canada.
Yeah, I don't think this is gonna work.
And all over Europe. So now I want you to take your first steps with me. But before we do that,
did Telly?
I just want you to see what you can do if you really practice these steps hard.
Oh no, we can't see. Oh, this is such a shame. What a travesty. I'm slightly worried about our VCR now. Hopefully Telly didn't break anything. Let's see. Let me see if I have a test tape somewhere. Just to make sure the VCR is still okay. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm putting in a tape that I know works. Hey, Noah. That's a 7-month resub. Thank you very much. Let's see, test tape.
Real lesson may turn out to be an economic one.
Oh, that's not good. Okay, well, let's pick out a head cleaning tape, shall we? We are definitely due for a cleaning, I have to say. And someone, we have the wet video head cleaner tape, but that's mine, but I don't have any cleaning fluid in there. So let's, fortunately enough though, someone has sent in a head cleaning tape. Let me grab that. I set this aside from the box that it came in, so I don't remember off the top of my head who sent in this head cleaning tape. But you probably know who you are. Thank you very much. You have saved the day, perhaps. Keeping the heads clean in your VCR is extremely important. Dirty heads decrease picture and audio quality. The realistic wet cleaning system safely and effectively cleans entire tape path. All right. So apply 4 drops of cleaning liquid into the liquid hole on the cassette. Where is the liquid hole? These are all different. So there's no liquid hole on the front, but I think this is the liquid hole on the right up here. Wait, but there's multiple holes. It is not marked. They do not label the liquid hole. There's a hole up here, and then there's a hole here. Wait, is that the liquid hole? It looks like it might have like a little fabric-y thing in there. Oh! Liquid hole. Ah, okay. Yes, thank you, Bella. Liquid hole. All right. We're in business. Apply 4 drops of cleaning liquid into the liquid hole. Insert the cassette. Sorry, liquid hole is just so good. I can't get over that. Insert the cassette into the VCR, set recording speed into the 2-hour mode, press the record and play button. Okay, so this one you have to record. Like it, I guess it cleans the record head too. Normal cleaning time will vary depending on your brand of VCR, approximately 30 seconds. When the cleaning process is complete, the VCR will automatically stop. Okay. Rewind the cassette and remove it from the VCR. This is way more complicated than... This is one that I bought like off Amazon a few years ago, and you can see that its liquid hole is just right here. But all of that liquid evaporated. So let's see here. I hope this fixes things. If not, I'm going to have to like get a new VCR. Bella Bunny, thank you for gifting a sub to Liquid Hole. Alright, so let's see here. We are going to 4 drops in the liquid hole. Also, I need to figure out how to set the... Make sure the recording speed is on SP. The display currently reads EP. If there's an SP EP button... Excellent. What happened to LP? Can you not do LP? I guess it's too middle of the road. Oh, thank you, Bella. Yeah, I don't relish the thought of taking my VCR apart, but I might, I would do it if I had to. All right, here we go. That is 4 drops in the liquid hole. Insert it into the VCR. Press record and play. Record. Play. I hear noises. Yeah, okay, it's going forward. And it's immediately rewinding. It is making some noises there. I did hit record, yeah. I mean, it says to rewind it when it's done. So maybe the last person who used it didn't rewind it, and that's we're having a kindness problem here. Let's see though. Let me see if it rewinds. Okay, it's rewound there. Let's, should I reapply liquid to the liquid hole or not? Let's just record and play again. We're in SP mode. Index mark. Okay, now it's chugging. Now it's moving forward. Definitely definitely making noises. I don't know if you hear that. Okay, and that's 30 minutes and now or 30 seconds. Now it's rewinding. I think that's good. I think that's it. Let's just rewind. Make sure it's... Oh, it's still making noises. I'm gonna hit stop. That doesn't do anything. I'm gonna hit rewind. That doesn't do anything. I'm gonna eject. Will it eject? Yes. All right. Let's see if that did anything. Thank you again to the person who sent this in. I should have taken better notes. Okay, let me just real quick see if we get any sort of different results.
In 2 years, and it's unclear if the hunt can sustain itself without them. For
that
now,
looks good. That looks really good. That seems better. We love Canada here. We have so many Canadian tapes about Canadian pastimes, like hockey and seals. All right, the real question is, will Celtic feet actually work now? I don't know. I'm gonna find out, though. Oh my god. It turns out cleaning your VCR heads every 300 tapes is a good idea. Oh, beautiful. All right. I'm so glad that worked. This is just, let's see. This is just a fun... Wait, no tape is currently being screened. Oh, I canceled it after it stopped working. Well, I'll have to start it back up. We are going to see if we can actually enjoy Irish step dancing now. Oh my god. This changes everything. I wonder if the tapes that didn't play before will play now. Now that we've actually cleaned the thing. I can test that after we watch this. Look at that solid black screen. Look at that solid copyright warning. Wiener World Limited advises you that this videogram, a word I have never heard before in reference to VHS tapes, is sold exclusively for private use. Yeah, we got to get Wiener World, man. Copyright 1995, Wiener World Limited.
A Wiener World presentation.
Oh, they're just so proud of their Wiener World branding. Okay. Celtic feet, back in business. see a Sasquatch.
Hi. My
I'm
name's
so
Colin,
glad that worked.
and I've been dancing for as long as I can remember.
I guess
In fact, this
Telly
little
was
fella
kind of
here
dirty.
is me when I was 2 years old, taking my first dancing steps in Ireland with my 2 sisters. I think I've come a long way since then. And meanwhile, Irish dancing has grown internationally, as I've seen through my trips to the States and to Canada, to Australia, New Zealand, and all over Europe. So now I want you to take your first steps with me. But before we do that, I just want you to see what you can do if you really practice these steps hard.
Shoes. Yeah, this reminds me of when I was young and my older sister took tap lessons. It was just tapping all over the house. I love his Casio keyboard MIDI backing track. I mean, man's got some powerful legs, no doubt. This does make me question, like, why was Irish dance the smash hit phenomenon of the 90s? I know that it was. I was there. My mom loved Michael Flatley.
Okay, well, that was some pretty tricky stuff there. But today I'm going to break down a few routines for you and show you piece by piece what we should be doing. Now, just a few things about Irish dancing before we start. The first thing that most people notice is that the arms are normally held down by the side. Don't hold them down rigidly when you're dancing, just hold them loosely down, relax the upper part of the body, enjoy it. The other important thing is that the feet should be turned out, so the heels are facing in with the toes pointing out. And in the majority of moves that we do, one foot is crossed in front of the other like that. Right, so the first routine that I'm going to break down for you is a basic reel.
Did you guys know that was the first time in like
soft sole? Okay, now a reel
I
is
cleaned the
4/4
VCR heads
time
like
signature.
10
So
streams
I
in.
brought along Alan here, who's going to play 8 bars of real music for you.
That
just
was
so
the
that you can
first
get
time in
feel of
70
things before you
streams
start.
that I've cleaned the
Okay,
VCR.
so after 8, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1.
Turns out it actually works.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Great stuff, thanks. I've also got the Celtic Feet Dance Company here behind me, who are going to be helping me demonstrate the steps to you. Okay? So we're all set. We're going to start with our first routine and with our first very basic step. So let's start with the arms down by the side, heels together and the feet turned out. Okay? And before we start, I want you to point your right toe out in front of you with your knee straight down to the floor. Right. We're going to pick the right leg up in front, and then we're going to hop over onto the right leg.
There was also like stomp,
Place the left leg down in front and the right leg
which
down
is like
behind.
trash
And
dancing.
then we're going to repeat that on the left leg. Pick the left leg up, hop over onto the left leg, place the right foot down in front, and the left foot behind. Okay, now we repeat that again.
This is already too much.
Hop over
Y'all
to
have
the
seen
right,
me try to
down with the
grapevine.
left, back with the right. Up with the left again, hop over to the left, down to the right, down to the left. Now we're going to do that 8 times, okay? That's our first very basic step. So let's try that to some music, okay? After 8, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, 2, 3.
He really does look like
Great
he's
stuff,
floating.
thanks. Right, the next step we're going to do, again, we start with the right foot forward.
He is exempt from
I
gravity.
want you to pick the right leg up and hop on the left leg at the back. Place the right foot down to the side and the left foot in behind. Again, we'll repeat that movement. Hop up with the right leg, put the right foot out in front, and place the left foot behind. Now, the next movement is called a side step movement, and it's similar to what we've just done, except we're going to step 7 times.
When I was a kid in 1996, my school
up, right,
built a
left,
gym.
Right, left, right,
We
left.
did not previously have a gym,
So
but they
we're
built a
standing here
gym
with
and
the
they were
weight of
doing a
our
lot of
body on the
renovations,
left
so we
leg.
couldn't do
Now
indoor
I'm going to
sports.
hop over to my right leg and point the left toe out at the
So
same
for
time.
PE class, while they were doing all that construction, we just stood outside and did the Macarena for like 30 minutes a day.
And point again to
It
the
was
left
hell.
leg. Now hop back on your right leg and place the left foot behind.
Or maybe they like
back,
didn't have a PE teacher at the
step the
time.
right
I
leg
can't
out in
remember
front,
what the circumstances
the
were, but
left leg behind.
we would just stand outside with a
And then we're going to
boombox
do
playing
2
the
point hop
Macarena,
backs like
and we
we've
would have
just
to do the
done to hop over
Macarena.
onto the left leg, to the right leg, and then hop the left leg
hated
back
the Macarena.
and put
I
the right
still
leg
hate the
behind.
Macarena.
Hop back behind, like so. After we've done that, we're then going to do the same set of movements, but starting on the left leg. So I'll do that slowly for you now. Okay, ready? Hop, 2, 3. Hop, 2, 3. Hop, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hop, point, hop, point, hop, point, hop.
Oh, I
back,
remember Giant
2, 3,
Parachute.
step,
Giant Parachute
point,
was
and
legit.
Point, hop, back. Okay, let's try that to some music after 8. 5, 6, 7, 8. Left leg.
What's worse,
Okay,
the
for third and
Macarena or
final
square
step of the
dancing?
short
Oh,
routine. Again, we're going to
absolutely
start with the right leg
Macarena.
out in front. Step on the right leg in
Square
front.
dance. We actually
pivot
did some square
round to
dancing,
the
I think,
side and place the left leg in front.
in PE, and it was
Place the right leg
fine.
to the
It was
back.
fun.
Step the left leg out in front and pivot round to the front with the right leg coming down in front again, with the left foot coming down at the back. Now we're going to repeat the side step movement that we did in the last step.
My
So
least favorite
altogether,
part of PE was
hop,
in the
2,
winter
3,
when
4,
we
5,
did track and
6,
field.
7. Now we're going to step in front with the right leg and
Which
then
was
step
just
behind with
running.
the back leg. Step up. Now we're going to bring the right leg all the way back whilst hopping on the left leg. Hop back and placing the right leg
The
down
coach would
behind.
let us outside, and we would just have
Then
to
we're going
run
to do the
a
same,
mile,
hopping on
like
the
6
right leg
laps
and
around
bringing
the
the left
soccer
leg
field,
back. Hop back,
breathing
placing the
freezing
left
cold
leg
air
down
into our
behind.
lungs
Place the right leg down in front again.
every day.
The left foot
I
to
hated it.
the back. And then we're going to change feet by jumping up and bringing the right leg back and bringing the 2 feet down together. Jump. And then we're going to do point hop back by hopping onto the left leg and pointing with the right leg. And then
Because it
bring
was
your right leg
Alabama, and so the winter was like
Okay. And as with the other
not
step,
brutal,
we also
but
do
still
that step
really
again,
uncomfortable
starting
to
on the left leg
sprint in.
first. Okay, let's try and put all that routine together. We're going to do 8, 1, 2, 3.
And,
first of all. We're going to do the
as
first
previously
step that
mentioned, we
learned,
didn't have a gym
then the
yet.
next step that we've just learned.
I think
and
later
we'll
on,
finish
after
off
they
with
built the
8,
gym,
1,
we
2,
played
3s again.
basketball in the winter.
Okay, so after 8, 5, 6, 7, 8.
But before that, it was just like, well, this kid's got to run.
Up on the right leg. And now the left leg. Now turn.
Yeah, I mean, it gets down to the 30s some weeks in the winter, but 45 to 50 is pretty accurate. Like you need a light jacket, and you're good.
Okay, so that's our first basic routine done. Now, when you learn some of the more trickier movements from the following 2 routines that I'm going to show you, you can always use that routine as a warm-up. Now, the next routine, again, is going to be danced to a real-time music, but this time we're going to do it in heavy or hard shoes, which have a tip on the front and heels here, which are made of plastic, which we can also hit together to make some noise with, like so. Now, the basic movement in this treble reel or this hard shoe reel that we're going to be doing is similar to a shuffle hop back that we might use in tap dancing or something like that. So it might be familiar to some of you. So we're going to start by placing the left foot down behind, and then tapping out with the right foot, tapping back with the right foot, hopping up on the left foot and placing the right foot down. Tap out with the left, tap back with the left, hop back and place the left foot down. And again, let's repeat that. Tap out, tap back, hop back and down. Okay, once you've mastered that, try and build up some speed on it. Okay, and stop. Okay? Now I'm just going to try some of those movements, or that particular movement to some music now for 8 bars. Okay, so after 8, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, great. Once you've mastered that, we're ready to start with our first step.
This does not seem easy to master at all.
By stamping the right foot in front, followed by 6 shuffle hop backs, stamping the right foot in front again, and placing the left foot down behind. So let's try that all together. Stamp 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, back stamp, step. Good. Now we're going to repeat that again. So after 3, 1, 2, 3, stamp 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, back stamp, step. Excellent. Right, now for the next step, again, we're going to start by stamping the right foot in front, followed by 7 shuffle hop backs. So let's try that together. 1, 2, 3, stamp 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, back. And then we repeat that again by stamping on the left foot first, and again doing 7 shuffle hop backs. 1, 2, 3.
7 shovel hops this time. Charlie Brown.
Okay. Now for the next step, we're moving on to the third step now. We're going to put 2 jump backs.
8 hops
threes,
this
which
time.
You remember you learnt them
9 hops
in the
this
third
time.
step that we did in the basic reel before. So
30
we're going
hops
to jump
this
back
time.
with the right leg and 2 feet down together. Now we step forward on the left leg and behind with the right leg.
They must
Now
have some very
repeat all that by
resilient
jumping back on the
knees.
left leg first, jump back, place the right leg in front and the left leg behind. Now we stamp in front with the right leg again, followed by 3 shuffle hop backs. Stamp 1, 2, 3, back. Now we repeat those last movements by starting with the jump back on the left leg. So we go jump, step, up, stamp, treble. Great, that's the third step done. So now we're ready to do our fourth step, and after we've done this step, we're going to put all the steps together so we can see how they fit together to some music. So again, we're going
I guess
to start
locking
by
your
stamping
knees
the
would
right
not be
foot in
smart.
front and doing a shuffle hop back on the right foot. So stamp, shuffle, hop back. Now the next piece might be quite tricky. We step forward on the left foot, step forward on the right foot, then we hop back onto the left foot whilst doing a cup movement with the right leg in front like this. It's simpler than it sounds, and then stamp in front. Ready? Now we do a shuffle hop back with the right leg, followed by a bang on the left. And then a shuffle hop back on the left leg. Now we're going to do the side step movement, which if you remember we did in the second step that we learned in the basic reel. So all together we go hop, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now we follow through with a stamp in front again with the right leg and a shuffle hop back on the right leg. Bang, shuffle hop back. And repeat that by stamping on the left leg in front with a shuffle back behind. Stamp, shuffle, hop back. Okay, great. Let's try those 4 steps to some music then. Okay, after 8, 5, 6, 7, 8.
I will say this is more impressive to watch, and just more entertaining and fun when there's multiple people doing it. Solo Irish step dancing just doesn't appeal to me in the same way.
Side step.
It's really the chorus of feet all in unison. And I think probably like
Okay, great stuff. Thank you.
being there makes a difference because you can feel the footwork.
Okay, but we're still only halfway there on this routine. We've got
One of the
some more
coolest
steps
things, when we went to Japan, we went
Okay,
to
so the next step we're going to do,
sumo
again, I'm going to start with a stamp in front with my right leg, followed by a stamp through
arena
on the left
in
leg.
Osaka.
So stamp, stamp, all
And
together.
the most striking thing about it was like you can feel the impacts.
I'm going to hop off my left leg
It's
and put the right leg down behind.
just somehow
Toe,
more
hop, down.
visceral than
Now
watching
I'm going
it.
to do a shuffle hop back with the left leg.
Because when
followed by a
these
shuffle
two
hop
big
back on
dudes
the
hit
right
each
leg.
other, not only do you hear it, you feel it in your chest from like 100 feet back up in the
Now
stands.
we repeat all that by starting with a stamp on the left leg. So all together we go stamp, stamp, toe.
There's
hop,
something
down,
about
shuffle,
live
shuffle,
entertainment
hop,
that you
back.
just can't
Now again
replicate.
we repeat the stamp,
Yeah.
stamp, toe, hop, down movement starting with the right leg. Stamp, toe, hop, down. Followed by a shuffle hop back on the left leg. And then we do a stamp with the right leg and we put the left foot stamp beside it. So we go shuffle, hop, back, stamp, stamp. Followed by a shuffle, hop back on the right. Shuffle, hop, back. Followed by a stamp in front with the left and a shuffle, hop back on the left. Stamp, shuffle, hop, back. Okay, so I think it'd be useful maybe to put that step together to the music now so we can see how it fits together. Okay, so after 8, 5, 6, 7, 8.
I have made a poll. Whatever you guys are, if you are enjoying this, let's stay with it.
Okay, thank you.
If
So
you
the
want to
next
hit
step
the
we're going
bricks,
to do, I'm just going to teach it to the two guys. And then
or
I'm going
skip
to be bringing
ahead,
the
we can do
ladies
that
back
too.
a bit later on to do some special steps with them. So the ladies could just step back for a minute. Okay, and I'll start the step with the guys.
Ooh,
So
men
we're going to
only
start with a
steps.
stamp in front with the right foot, followed by a shuffle hop back on the right foot. So we go all together. Stamp, shuffle, hop back. Now we repeat that by stamping on the left foot first. Stamp, shuffle, hop back. Now we do a stamp in front with the right leg, followed by 3 shuffle hop backs. Stamp, shuffle, shuffle, hop back. Now the next movement is called a slide. I've got the weight of my body on the right foot. I'm going to transfer it to the left foot and place my heel out to the side in front of me. So I'll show you. Hop over to the left, place the heel out to the side, drag the left foot in,
Shuffle hop
behind,
back.
and place it down behind. Then I'm going to repeat that by doing it on the left leg.
Okay, we are
I'm going
tied.
to step over onto the right foot.
Granted,
place the left heel out.
The vote for hit
the
the
left
bricks
heel
gets
out,
split
drag
when you
the right
do
foot in, and
skip
place
to
the
end of
right
tape
foot
and
behind.
hit them.
So let's
Oh
try
my
that
God,
together.
auto mod.
1, 2, 3, go. Hop, slide, down, hop, slide.
Auto mod
down.
held
Now I'm going to
three-way
stamp in
for
front of the
sex-based
left foot, followed by
terms.
3 shuffle hop backs. All together. Stamp, shuffle, shuffle, hop, back. Okay, good. Now I'm going to bring the ladies back to do some steps with them. So if the gents could step back.
Well, let's split the difference and see what's going on in 35 minutes. This is a 55-minute tape, so let's go to like 48 minutes and see what we get. Also, I'm really curious now to see if our Hip Hop for Kids tape, granted it's a very similar, it's also an instructional dance tape, but I'm curious to see if it will work now that we have cleaned the VCR heads. This is kind of slow to fast forward, so let me go grab that tape real quick. Actually, okay. Golf Goofs. What if Golf Goofs works now? Have we considered this? I'm very intrigued. I mean, the heads accrue dirt over time, but also they seem to be in particularly bad shape, like immediately after Telly. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Oh, wait, Goff was the one that had Field of Dreams, right? Shit, never mind. I'm getting confused. Yes, so we were having issues earlier in the stream, like tracking just was bad. And I put in a tape that I knew worked, and it was still bad. So we figured, oh God, we really need to clean the heads. And surprise, surprise, it worked. A tape that was like not tracking at all suddenly became perfectly watchable. This tape right here, Celtic Feet.
The back.
I just want to see how advanced their
hop 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
dancing gets.
Okay, then we drop the heels 4 times. The right heel first, then the left, then the right, and the left. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so let's try that. We're up on our toes. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, again, we'll put that step to music, I think. 5, 6, 7, 8.
Ooh, this is good.
Okay.
Look at him wiggle those ankles.
Okay, we've got one more step to learn in the double jig, and then we're there. Okay, so we're standing with the right leg in front. Okay, now this time, instead of doing a front click movement, we're actually going to click the heels whilst jumping up at the back. Okay, and we're going to combine that with a shuffle movement. So I'm going to go step 1, 2, hop back, step.
Ooh, boy,
To do the back
I
click,
would
we
kill
pick
for an
the
enchilada right
leg
now.
Up at the back. We then hop off the left, and then as the right leg is coming down, we hit the 2 heels together. So I've stepped on the left and up and down. Okay, so let's try that. Together, 1, 2, 3, go. Step 1, 2, hop back, step up and down. Okay, then we repeat that movement. So all together, step 1, 2, hop back, step up and down. Okay, now we're going to repeat the stamp and toe movement which we did in the last step. So we've got left leg behind, step, stamp, toe, step, stamp, toe, step, stamp, toe, step, stamp. So let's try that together. 1, 2, 3, go. Step, stamp, toe, step, stamp, toe, step, stamp, toe, stamp, stamp. Okay, then we repeat the double hop back and back click to finish.
There is nothing in his instructional method that makes this remotely approachable.
Great, we've finished.
For a non-dancer such as me. Maybe it's easy to follow for someone who knows some kind of dancing.
In a dance called Celtic Moves. So myself and the guys are going to leave the stage, and the ladies are going to come on first and do the slip jig. Okay.
Anyway, it's pretty impressive to watch, though. It says spectacular yet easy to learn, this dance. Should I be recording this just in case? Yeah, there's nothing on the case that indicated that it was a screener copy, but that title has been on screen the whole time. I don't know who Wiener World Productions sent this to.
So there you have 3 routines for you to try and master at home. Irish dancing is great fun, and I'm sure you'll agree, and you should also be getting a great buzz from dancing along to the music. This routine that we're going to do now is a combination of some of the steps that you'll recognize from today, along with some other steps that we've choreographed along with them. This is Celtic feet.
Hooray, Celtic feet. The signature number, I'm sure. That little wiggle. God, she's got very strong ankles. I'm glad we skipped to the end of the tape instead of hitting the bricks. Hey, he's like a gazelle. Do we get more
just
songs?
To finish off now, we've got some people up from the audience, and we're going to all join in a fun version of a dance called the Siege of Venice, which is an old Cayley time dance for everybody to join in too. Okay, Alan.
See, this is what Irish step dancing is surely about, right? Is people having a good time. It's neat that for a brief cultural moment in the 90s we elevated it to a stage production.
Hey,
But also, it's not the sort of thing to just sit there idly and watch for 2 hours in an auditorium. At least that's not the soul of it.
Back you go, stay there now. Here we go. There you go. No, not you. Listen, there we go.
Everyone needs milk. Thank you, Jess, for the 1,000 bits. All this dancing must be exhausting. Surely the dancers could use some pure energy. Happy to oblige.
Back you go, not yet.
Thank you for your support.
There you go. One more time. Last time.
Copyright Wiener World Limited. Thank you.
The wonder of Wiener World.
What? No. Jesus Christ. I didn't think I needed a separate copy of that, but the narration is different.
The wonder of Wiener World.
Beautiful.
Well, that's it. We've had a great time here today, and I hope you have at home too. As you can see, it's pretty hard work, but I hope you've learned something about what we do. And don't forget to keep on practicing those steps.
I'm a going to Wiener World. That was a great tape. Apologies for cutting out the middle of it if you wanted to see the whole thing, but I think we got a good, a really good dose of Colin, Dunne, and Irish step dancing. Thank you, Bella Bunny, for sending that one in. Should we... All right. This is very suspenseful for me. We got pure energy. We've also got... I'm really intrigued. I know this may be a huge letdown, but I want to see if this works now. Now that the heads are cleaned. But I'll keep you in suspense as to whether or not we'll be able to learn hip-hop for kids by playing, at the request of seemingly Jess, thank you, Jess, a kids hip-hop performance of Pure Energy.
I like cheeseburger, fries, and soda. Soda?
After what we have learned today?
I can't believe I said that. Milk. Make mine milk.
The cream always rises to the top.
Give me milk, not soda. Gotta have my daily quota of calcium, and vitamins, You'll feel better.
This one's a little long because I included this this ending segment at the beginning because the little skit where she tries to order soda is just too good. Moving on, here's the actual song.
I'm looking hot, I'm feeling good, hanging with my pals in the neighborhood. I work real hard at school each day. Now I have a chance to toss my cares away. I'm on a roll. I'm gonna
VHS Mel.
You'll feel better once you learn. Milk
Wearing
is
an MLK shirt.
Milk is natural, pure energy.
I'm feeling strong. I'm stepping out. I have what it takes. There is no doubt. I'll be my best. And when
Oh, no.
I'm done, there won't
I
be
really
any
need to fix that.
questions. Number one.
Time to SSH into the server and restart the chat bot.
And every time you better believe I'm gonna shine.
Give me milk, not soda. Gotta have my daily quota of calcium, and vitamins, You'll feel better once you learn. Milk gives you the power to burn. Milk is natural, pure energy.
Doesn't matter if it's a Holstein or a Jersey herd. The beverage of my choice, I say,
Milk is word.
warm it up, and it'll help you sleep.
Milk
Or
is
drink an
word.
ice cold and help your
Milk
vertical
is
leap.
bond.
Stronger teeth and bones, you gotta drink your milk. Full skin is smooth as satin and hair like silk. I'm strutting, I'm showing.
Just what I've got.
The cream always rises to the top. Give me milk, not soda. Gotta have my daily quota of calcium, and vitamins, You'll feel better once you learn. Milk gives you the power to burn. Milk is natural, pure energy.
And that was pure energy. All right. Thank you again to Jess. Milk seems like the most refreshing way to cool down after a dance. An Irish step dance. Okay, who's ready? It's time to see if this actually works. I will cut. I won't go through the preamble of reading all this because it may or may not actually work, but we will see. It's time for Hip Hop for Kids to maybe work or maybe not work. We got the cleanest heads in town. And
Take it back. That's good. And forward, y'all. Here we go. There you go. Work it out. And again. And 1,
that's
3, 4, 5, 6.
yeah, okay. All right. Well, let's see. Let's see if we can get through it. Hip Hop for Kids is a 30-minute video introducing kids to hip-hop dance. Our host, Roger G., a featured dancer with Michael Jackson, Stevie Wonder, and Lionel Richie, leads our kid dancers through a fun hip-hop workout. Learn the latest hip-hop steps from our kid hip-hoppers, Melissa, Adia, Shani, Antoine, and Chi-Chi. Stretch, dance, and workout. It's all for fun. All for fun. All right, we are back to the beginning of a tape. Let's try it out. Hip Hop for Kids. The beginning's a little rough. It's got to find its footing here. It's going to be great. Damn it. Oh, that's a great intro that we can't get because the tracking is too bad. But I think it's improving. Yeah, it's working now. Hip Hop for Kids, baby. Fish. Jumping Fish Productions. Not all exercises are suitable for everyone. Don't be a buster. Talk to your doctor before illin with the hip-hop beats. Dear parents and or guardians, welcome to Hip Hop for Kids. This tape was designed by 2 dance educators and offers a fun half-hour fitness program for kids. It may take several viewings for your child to master all the dances in our video. Children may want to start our program by doing only 1 or 2 sections at a time before participating in the entire program. We recommend that parents supervise children during the first few viewings. Make sure children clear an exercise space of any hazards such as furniture, rugs, and other objects. Supportive athletic shoes must be worn at all times. Your supervision will help your child have a fun hip-hop workout. Yeah, don't hip hop for kids if you're 35 or
Hi,
older.
my name is Roger G, and I would like to show you a fun hip hop workout.
Roger G is dressed like a 10-year-old and is clearly 45. I guess it was 1996.
Design warm-up for you, which concentrates on the different parts
T-shirt
of
and
the body.
backwards baseball cap was
And remember,
pretty standard.
put on some supportive sneakers so that you'll feel comfortable. So are you ready? Let's go. All right, let's rock the house, y'all. Hey.
This set, what at all is hip hop about this set?
4, 5. Now take it to your right. Hey. And bend to the side. Hey. 1.
I want to be doing this dance, but it's too much to set up. That's a real hip hop ladder right there.
And careful with the swing. 4,
Like my neck is stiff and I should be doing this along with them,
5, 6, 7, and
but I'm also wearing a headset and sitting in a chair.
there you go. And double up. And again. And shoulder. Hip. Take it back again. And forward, y'all. Here we go.
This backing track is pretty good though.
And again. And 1, 2, 3.
I don't know if these children are really fitness experts.
And 1.
Not too sure about their form.
Full isolation. Here we go. Here we go. Sharp. Now take it to the right. There you go. Now hit those hips. Hip. To the right. Shake it up. Shake it up. This is the fun part. Come on, let's take it. Let's go. Shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it.
Nothing is better than commercial interests misunderstanding and appropriating hip hop culture for suburban white families.
Shake it up. Shake it up. Shake it up.
This is a 1995 Parents' Choice Award winner.
5, 6, and stretch those toes. And 1, 2, 3.
USA Today says it's easy to catch the groove in this totally cool tape.
First, and then you can stretch your feet.
The irresistible beat makes it impossible to sit this one out.
And let's bounce. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Take it out. This is the hip hop bounce, y'all. Get this.
It kind of reminds me of
And together. 3, 4, 5.
what is it?
Take it to the left. Hey.
The exaggerated swagger of a black teen or whatever from the Spider-Man game review.
3, 4. 1,
Great media quotes.
1, 2, 3. To the left. 1, 2, 3. Now 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2.
The head cleaning tape was clutch.
There you go. Now step. Hey, there you go.
They're getting their shoulders very
good,
loose.
Very good. Keep it up. With a turn. Hey. Hey, again. Yep. Now I'm down. Hey. In place. Here we go. Here we go.
I'm not. Is this the warm-up or?
Now take it to the side. And back. And again. And again.
There's been no actual instruction.
To the side. And 1, 2. Stretch it. Stretch it up. Other side. 1, 2. Stretch those legs, that back thigh. And down. Other side. All right.
Where did I get the head cleaning tape? I forget which box it arrived in. It may have been in the Sombre Noir box, maybe. I can't recall exactly. I apologize, but it worked a lot. It worked very well, so I appreciate it. You can find them all over the place. You can still buy them new and stuff.
And up, come on, let's go. Up, and up, and up, and up. Good, up. And swing higher. Come on, let's work it out. Take your time. Work it out. Good. Work it out. Work it out. Work it out. Here we go. Yeah. Good.
This has to be the warm-up because this is not a hip-hop dance move. This would be a really weird thing to do for an extended period of time.
Turn and stretch. Up. And a big one. Take a deep breath. All right, good. And now we're gonna do the second part of the warm-up, stretching on the floor. Remember, it's very important to stretch before you dance.
Don't make me wanna go away.
Sitting
right
on the floor.
Here I wanna
Make sure
stay.
you're comfortable.
Can we try
Hands on ankles and bounce.
Don't make me
Wanna go away.
Stretch it out, come on.
I wanna stay. Can we try again? Make me wanna go away. Right here I wanna stay. Can we try again?
And around. And reverse. Push it out. 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, 8. 1, 2, 3. And around. 5, 6, and bend over and 1.
I think one of the first commercials I ever uploaded to Golden VCR on YouTube
And roll.
was a 1997 commercial
And roll. And stretch it out. And 1.
for Domino's Pizza
And rolling up.
that feels very
And rolling up.
corporate executive race baity.
And 1, 2.
There's just like a rap about ordering Domino's Pizza.
7 and 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7 and 8 and out. Don't make me wanna go away. 8 and down. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and sideways. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and left. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and around. 2, 3, take your time. 5, 6 and 7 and look and 1, 2, push your hips up. And 5, 6 and 7 and 8 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7.
Oh, you can never have too many beanbags.
Take your time.
I remember we had a beanbag when I was a kid, and I would crawl inside of it because you could unzip it. I was just chilling there with the beans.
7 and here and 1, 2, 3.
It was a very cheap beanbag.
With your arms and lift it up and
They were like little foam pellets.
4, just relax. 6, one more time. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 feet together. And 1, 2, 3, and we go and stretch. 2, 3. This is a fun part for you.
Is that a stretch?
7, take it back. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, forward. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And here.
This seems medically inadvisable.
And down. 6, 7.
Just do this on your kitchen floor, kids.
3, 4, up 5, 6 and 7, 8 and 1, 2, up 3, 4 down 5, 6, 7, and again 1, 2, up 3, 4 and down 6, 7, and relax and 1, 2, up 3, 4 down 5, 6, now roll and 1, like you're on the bike. 8 and 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, 6 and reverse and 1.
This is a strange choice. Like,
Keep your stomachs in.
oh, they're showing us how to.
7 and down. 6, 7.
They're reminding us that you could.
5, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah, the inception is strange. Very strange.
7 and legs up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Elbows touching the knee, if you can, and keep those stomachs in. 4, 5, 6, and switch. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Keep a smile on your face. It'll motivate you. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and legs here. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Bend your waist up. 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Cross your feet. And 1, 2. Good. We're working out.
We're over a third of the way through this tape, and we're still in the warm-up.
All right, I know you feel it. It's good to work out. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Man, I went swimming recently, and
This is gonna make you nice and strong.
my friends were teaching me how to swim,
2,
because some of them are quite good at it,
6, 7, 8,
and I've never been able to swim really well.
4, 5,
And I learned that depending on whether you have air in your lungs or not, you are more or less buoyant.
Hip-hop workout. You may want to watch first and then
I never
follow
knew
along
that.
at home.
Like, breathing is important.
To all you kids at home, this is very
It really
important.
was a
This is
game
hip-hop
changer
step
for me in
right
the
here.
pool.
Without this bounce, you won't be able to do the hip-hop dance. So follow us at home, and you'll be all right.
If your lungs are full of air, you float. If you exhale completely, you will sink to the bottom.
Your link step.
Nobody ever told me that.
All right. Now we're gonna take this all the way around. Come on, let's go. Yeah. Up. All right. All right. Yeah. All right. Come on. Yeah. Yeah. Up. Yeah. And again. And around. Up. Come on, y'all. Yep. Yeah. Come on. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Up. Come on. Up. And link step. And now we're gonna do the same thing again.
I mean, several of the places I lived in LA had pools.
More energy. Come on.
Because pools are big in Southern California for some reason. But those are all tiny pools. I guess one of the places I lived in Birmingham had a pool.
Come on, let's do it.
But it was, There were always like drunk nurses and doctors hanging out at the pool. It didn't really get me into a sporting mood.
And cross with the left foot. And cross. Now we're gonna slide with the right foot. Slide. And slide.
I have enjoyed swimming a lot more now that I somewhat kind of almost know how to do it.
Now link the step. Yeah.
So I'm definitely interested in swimming more.
Here we go. And the left foot. And the right foot. Come on. And the left foot. One more time. And the left foot. And slide with the right. Yeah. Come on, let's do it. Hey, take it back. Back, last time. Link step. Good, very good.
Nope.
Now we're gonna do the kick. Here we go.
The tape may or may not last, just to caution you.
7, 8, in place. 2, 3, 4 with the arms. Opposite arms and legs. And 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Take it on back. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Energy. Come on.
I always expect the instructional dance tapes, or dance tapes of any kind really, will start out with like, here is a basic step. Okay, let's do a drill to retain that. All right, now here's how you build it into something more by combining different steps. But usually it's like this, where it's just like, all right, watch me dance. Do it with me.
Let's link the steps together. And let's do the same thing again. Come on. And kick it. And again.
Do this thing with your arms.
Forward. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now take it on back. Take it to the side. Do the arms up and down, up and down. Very good, very good. Take deep breaths if you get tired. Come on. And if you get thirsty, stop and drink some water if you can. Take it on back. Come on. Link step. Very good.
Water? After everything we've learned?
Step. Let's go.
You're right. I should only drink milk.
And the left. And the right. Take the left back. Good. And repeat it again. And the right foot. And the left foot. And the right foot. Take the left back. And the left foot. And the right foot. And the left foot. Link step. Good. Very good at home. Come on, kids. Follow us. We're going to do the same step again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Take the left back. Come on. Back. Very good. Let's do it one more time at home. Come on. 2, 3, 4. With the bounce. Take the left back.
To be fair to these kids, they're doing pretty good. Like they're
Link step.
dancing.
There you go. Now we're gonna do double single.
They're competently executing these steps in sync with the
Single.
Roger G.
Single. Left side. And the right side. Left side. Link step. All right. Take a pause there. Take a pause. And let's do it again. Come on. Left side.
Shoal Shiglag.
And again. Now the kids are going to show you some of their favorite steps. Don't forget, if you get thirsty, take a break and come back. We'll be right here.
Now I'm going to teach my step called the running man.
I don't. Are these kids gonna rap now? You can I googled hip hop for kids, Roger G. Apparently you can stream this on Tubi? I do not understand. The streaming landscape. There's also an Amazon listing for a DVD. Hip Hop for Kids Schoolhouse Hop. The cover features Roger G, but he's clearly much older and bald now. It was released in 2008. Okay, the tracking might be putting an end to this. They've all got their own unique moves. What is Melissa's move exactly? It's impressive for a kid. Oh, Red Shirt Boy is not doing the Shawnee. He is not committing. I think Ari might be the worst dancer. But they're all doing their best.
Weren't they great? This is the second half of the hip hop workout. Ready for a challenge? Okay, this is the link step. Going to the side and coming back into the
challenge.
Step. Let's go. Yeah, come on. Step to the side. Here you go. Right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. Link step, then step. Good. And again, repeat it. And 2,
This is one of the strangest tapes
7, 8, and right.
we've watched, I think.
And right, left.
It's hard to describe
And
why.
link. Good, that's your link step. Put that together. Now step turn. And step turn.
It's the sort of thing that was like perfectly normal in the 90s,
And again.
but seems so bizarre in any other context.
Good. All right, let's repeat the step turn. Step turn. Step turn. And step turn. And step turn. And link. And put it together. Come on. Right and right. And left and step turn. And step turn. And link step. We're gonna do that combination one more time so we build up on it. Come on. And a right. And a 1 and 2. And 4. And step turn. And step turn. And link. Good. Next step. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, 5, 6, and 7, and 8. Right, left across, left, right across. Link step. Good, very good. Take your time, let's do it again. Right, left across, left, right across. Right, left across, left, right across. Link step. Good, we're getting good, we're getting good at it, we're getting good at it. And go, top to the top. Step turn, turn to the right, turn to the left. Link step, hip, left, link step. That's it. Let's do that combination one more time. Step, 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 turn to the right, step, turn to the left.
I would enjoy the Freedom Coke.
And down, left, right, cross.
I'm not familiar with the Freedom Coke.
Good. Next step. Let's go. Come on. Heel, heel, in the back. Heel, heel, right in the back. Heel.
Yeah, Ice Ice Baby was a pretty big hit. Like,
heel, right, link step. Good. We're moving along.
I wish there was a way for us to learn more about the life and times of Vanilla Ice.
Heel, left in the back.
I feel like he's so underserved by history.
All right, let's put that together. Back to the top. Come on. Here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Turn to the right.
Vanilla Ice was truly a pioneer.
And kick and cross with the left. And here.
He faced
down
and
with
overcame
the
so much
kick
adversity.
With the right cross and heel. Down with the right. Step. Good, very good. Let's do that one more time. Let's go. Come on. And step, step, and step. And right turn, and left turn, and kick.
Was the Vanilla Ice Scholastic biography the one with like manager Tommy Hong and it was all about him, or was that a different one?
And step, good. All right, next step is toe heel. Come on, let's get this one. And toe heel up, toe heel up, toe heel up, toe heel. Link step, good. Follow this rhythm pattern. You like this? Come on again. And step up. Toe heel up, toe heel up, toe heel, link step. All right, let's put it together. Back to the top.
Oh, that is a very patriotic cola.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And step, turn to the right, turn to the left. And kick, cross with the left, and heel, down with the left.
Yeah, go for it.
And kick,
Post whatever you want.
and heel, down with the right. And toe heel up, toe heel up, toe heel up, toe heel.
Oh my god, it's a full recording of the Vanilla Ice Hot Dish stream.
One more time.
Please.
Let's do it. Come on, y'all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
If you want something to listen to after this stream, folks,
And step turn to the left. And kick
I would highly encourage you
and heel.
to enjoy the real-time Christmas reading of Vanilla Ice autobiography.
Down with the right. Toe heel up and relax. Up, toe heel up, toe link step. All right, that's a good combination, y'all. Don't you think so? Yo, that was good. All right. Yeah. Very good at home. Rewind the tape if you didn't do it right. Now we're going to put all the steps together. Let's see if you can follow along. All right. Part 1, part 2, we're going to put it together, y'all.
I feel like this is the finale, so I should be recording it just in case. I gotta delete a bunch of video clips after this stream anyway.
Do it right. Now we're going to put all the steps together. Let's see if you can follow along. All right. Part 1, part 2, we're going to put it together, y'all. From the tippy top, let's do it. Ha! Take it back, take it back. And dip.
Single, single, single.
Yeah, it's had quite a journey. It's making me curious now if there are other tapes that
And step, turn.
were actually the victim of a dirty VCR.
And cross. There you go, in the back. And left, right across. And here, hip, toe, heel. Toe, heel, up, and link step. One more time, let's do it. Oh. And right, and left, and right, and left. Take it back.
Most of our tapes have worked recently, though.
To the left, and a double single here. Left arm. Single. And we go to the right and the left. The right, left and the right, left and the left. Step, turn to the right. Step to the left. Now 2, 3, and 4. In the back, and the left, right across, and the right down. Here we go. Toe heel, toe heel, toe heel, toe heel, link step. All right, give yourselves a round of applause at home. Come on. All right, that was very good. Remember, you don't have to be perfect. Just do these steps. Just keep practicing. You'll be good. All right. Oh, all right. I'm in your camera. Oh, now everybody home. This is the freestyle section, and which means do what you want to do at home. But watch this. This is fun. Check it out. Enjoy it. We'll see you next time.
Hey, Roger G.
Come on, let's go. Go.
Let's hear it for Roger G.
Come on, let's up. Come on, let's up. Come on, let's up. Come on, let's up. Yeah, come on, let's up. Oh, yeah. Come on, let's up. Come on, let's up. Come on, let's up. Come on, let's up. Go, Johnny. Go, Johnny. Go, Johnny. Go, Johnny. I like that, Johnny. Go, Johnny. Go, Johnny. Go, Johnny. Go, Ari. Go, Ari. Go, Ari. Go, Ari. Energy, Ari. Come on, Ari. Come on.
Pick it up, Ari.
Go, Ari. Go, Ari. Go, Dia. Go, Dia. Go, Dia. Rock a Dia. Rock a Dia.
Oh, they just dance wear courtesy of Dan Skin.
Go, Antoine. Go, Antoine.
We love wearing Dan Skin. We're courtesy of Zippy Mats. Wow. Oh, we get like 3 seconds of Roger actually using his world-renowned, featured in Michael Jackson and Stevie Wonder videos, dance skills. All right, Roger.
We out of here, yo! Go, go!
Okay, the tape box said 96, but that makes a little more sense actually, that the program was copyright 1993. A Donald Michael Kaysen production. Beautiful. Thank you again to Green Day Rock for sending this one in, and thank you to the person who sent me a head cleaning tape. It really came in clutch. I'm so glad we were able to clean the VCR heads finally. And what a dramatic moment doing it on stream with the fate of the VCR hanging in the balance. Boy. All right. Well, I think that's going to be it for today. Join us Wednesday, 2 days from now. We'll have a special. We're gonna commemorate Juneteenth. We've got Tales from the Land of Gullah. We got Jacob Lawrence and the Glory of Expression. A documentary about the life and work of one of America's great living painters, the first African American to be represented by a New York gallery. We also have, these are both 28 minutes, an insider's look at how one African American woman, through patience, perseverance, and education, fulfilled her dream of becoming an artist. Anyway, that's going to be a great stream. We'll watch those. We'll watch something else. We'll celebrate Trill's 72nd birthday. in safety and style. Until then, folks, I hope you have a wonderful week. Happy Monday to you. Take it easy. Take care of yourselves. Catch you on the flip. I'm so glad that we've discovered the wonders of Wiener Vision together. And I will see you next time.